Hello.
Something.
Hello. Hello.
Proboscis.
Something.
Thank you, John.
Test.
ABC.
I think my thing's working now because apparently also updates. So yeah, my DM hard drive died today. Well, maybe it said, we'll see. And also shenanigans. But let's say what I said just a second ago again, this time being heard now. That said, last session, which was a while ago, stuff happened. We'll just kind of go from there. But the reason why we're running What Remains Today instead of the Dark 4 is because it's Chad's birthday, and he wanted me to run for his birthday, so that's what we're doing. It's going to be a horrible birthday gift because this is going to be a really sad session, very downbeat. That said, at the end of last session, everybody was not at the tavern. Stuff happened. The day kind of continued on. The evening's kind of coming to. Everyone's going back to the tavern, unless you don't want to. If you don't say you don't want to, then you're gonna go. And
I'm pretty sure Hezrod never left.
That's more than fair. So yeah.
Hezrod was getting drizzunk.
Yeah, he was drinking, and then he looked around and he realized everybody was gone, and then he just said, well, I guess I'll just keep drinking till they get back.
When you get back, you're all coming back from where you remember where you were. I would presume that Avran, Malika, and Alton would probably be the last ones back based on duration of process, aftermath, etc. Hezrod, if I recall correctly, you were... Oh, my notes were on... Okay, where were you? Make you remember. Play the good smart DM.
I can't remember if Goradir and Fiona went anywhere.
Goradir...
Because I don't think Hezrod had any particular...
I think Goradir...
he was just going to go drinking and he was going to bring Alton along, but instead Alton went along with Avran.
Goradir, Fiona, and Hezrod were basically hanging out at the tavern for a time. At some point in that mix, Goradir would have kind of just absconded away, kind of just heading back
With
to his room. I didn't say that. I said he went back to his room for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound about right, Josie and Chad?
Yeah. Fiona was just eating and drinking and talking to her father at the bar and just kind of talking shit. And then she went to bed.
Okay. So then...
Being a cranky, ungrateful child.
Hezrod, you head to bed at a reasonable hour as well?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, he'd probably just fall asleep somewhere.
Surprisingly, very little Goradir drinking in the bar. And then Alton, Malika, and Avran, you arrive back. Do you stay some time talking? Do you want to have any discussions in character before heading to bed, or right to it?
Just right to sleep.
Long day.
Alton's like, I've seen enough of this bullshit.
Had a lot of questions of his own.
Malika will give... So we know that Alton was peeking, right?
Yeah, he was there the whole time.
Okay. So she'll give him a little wink and go to bed. Like a...
You'd also remember that Alton was given something to serve, to protect.
I can't remember what
Yeah.
it was. Hold on. I think I took a note of it.
Gosh, I hope so.
Badass dagger.
Vicious dagger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he has
The
to
nickname.
protect
You.
Oh my God, Josie. You're staying on that drug train. Sorry. Anyway.
Remember,
Yes.
Fiona right now doesn't have a high intelligence.
Oh.
She has 8 intelligence, so yeah, not the highest.
She's in total she's in lad mode right now. It's like, okay, bruv, let's go.
She's technically the stupidest in the entire party, including Hezra. Let that sink in.
Oh, she's a chav.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Chav Fiona.
Love it.
Totally.
Exactly.
But you all go to bed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You wake in the morning.
Avron.
Go ahead.
Avron's just gonna. If the father is there, he's gonna ask him if he knows
He's
any
not.
stories.
It's
No?
actually
Okay.
the mother who would be present because he works during the day.
Oh, okay. So if the mom's there, she probably knows gossip. He's gonna ask the mom if she knows any stories of the holy swordsman Avron Normac.
Doesn't ring any
Nothing?
bells. Sorry.
Do you wish to hear one before I go to bed?
If you stay there, tell her your tale. She'll listen. And she's one of those kind of listeners who is an active listener. So she's asking questions about your story and is very engaged. And it's a very relaxing bit for Avran. Also, as you're kind of telling the stories, it's like you're of two minds as you're doing it, as the other story, the one that was less realized until recently, kind of sits there.
I don't tell her that. I
Oh,
just
of course.
tell her.
I'm just saying for your own psyche, that's kind of how it's as you're telling the story, it's like you're telling the story from a third party observer's position.
At the end of it, I'm just gonna leave off with.
How do you end the tale? Does he fight the Lich Magier, or does he die where he dies?
I'm gonna leave it off with he fights with the Lich Magier.
The story that you recalled.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna leave it off with that is the story of one of my dearest friends.
She seems confused because she knows your name's Avran, and you were telling a story about a guy named Avran, so she doesn't really press on it. And then you head to bed. You would actually feel physically tired for the first time in quite a long time. Fatigued.
He'll probably wake up a little bit later than everyone else.
Okay. So who'd be first on the docket for waking up? Fiona probably not, maybe? I don't know. Yes?
Yeah,
You know, I think for oh, go ahead.
I was asking Fiona.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say she would probably sleep in a little bit, actually, later than she normally would.
Okay.
But wouldn't be the last to wake up.
Regardless,
so,
I asked you first for a specific reason. Roll a d6 for me, and then we'll move on.
Cool.
Okay. So as you're kind of laying there, kind of staring at the ceiling, and you're kind of waking up, your mental status doesn't change, but as you're kind of waking up a little later in the day, you don't feel as whatever it was you were yesterday. It feels like whatever is about you has shifted, and you feel so fucking healthy. You feel like you could do so many shots right now and it would be no problem. You feel like you could basically you have a very increased sense of vitality. Your constitution for today is a 19, and whatever the other stats were revert back to their base.
Ooh, okay, so her wisdom completely goes out the door. But she immediately, like you said, she feels super hearty. She kind of actually on that note, she was gonna sleep in longer, but she springs out of the bed and kind of goes, "Whew, I guess that hangover cure works better than I thought it would. All right, let's go downstairs."
Since you're the last one on the docket down there, Hezrod, Alton, Malika, you three, since Avran said he would also kind of be staying in a bit later than the rest, what would you three think would be the first person up and at him?
I think for pure comedic effect, it should be Hezrod.
Okay.
Everybody else slept in so late that Hezrod actually got up first.
Hezrod, you kind of wake up and you head on down the steps. You know, head into the common room. Only person in there is the father, and he kind of looks at you and he says, "Hey, your friend left this." Places a note onto the table, and the it looks like the key to a room.
Hezrod reads it.
Yeah.
Is the key inside the letter?
Well, you open it up. It's 2 pieces of parchment.
Okay.
One looks like it's a list, and one looks like it's a letter. And I'm trying to show 2 players. Let me change the music because it should be something more somber.
Oh no!
Oh no! What the fuck, Jonathan?
I didn't do this.
What the fuck, Elizabeth?
Aww. Oh, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth!
You absolute prince.
I can't read cursive.
I'm too young to know cursive.
This is also quite a large festival that I had forgotten.
The second page looks like it's mostly just a list of things.
Alright, can I get this in plain English, please?
That's so sweet. What a classy man.
Indeed.
What?
The motherfucking shade. At the, in the PS.
If you would like, I will read it to you, Jonah, like you were being read a bedtime story. Dearest
Papa.
friends, I know that my leaving is sudden, but should the stars allow it, may we meet again. I have decided to return home with my beloved, as we have only had a handful of days alone together since we've wed. I can't read it from this angle.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm reading it sideways. Here we go. Okay. I know. I've decided to return home with my beloved as we have only had a handful of days alone together since we've wed. And we have been wed for some time now. There is also quite a large festival that I had forgotten to leave plans for, and Father and the Council will have my head if it is not handled. In my hurry to leave, it must have slipped my mind, and I have little faith in the rest of the committee's tastes in wine and music. Expensive does not mean that it is good wine. Should you find yourselves in the forests of Mare, please feel free to find me, and I will seat you to the finest wine you will ever drink. On the topic of drink, if you would grant me permission once home, I would like to raise funds to restore the brewery we were so kindly gifted by the people of Land's End. My hope is that it will help assist them in their rebuilding of their little I can't read cursive either. Little town's fortune.
Oh, she posted it in the chat. That's really sweet.
Yeah, Little Town's Fortune.
Please. Oh, did she post? Oh, she posted it in the
She
chat.
posted it.
There. What a sweetheart. She had it on deck. Please keep in touch. You may write to me at any time, my friends. The Emerald Paradise and Knock should be able to deliver messages to me the quickest, but any messenger will do. You should still try the Emerald Paradise at least once, by the way. May Alwyn grant you all good health and protection. Your friend, Golradier Belthenlas. P.S. Avran, please avoid opening strange objects or going through strange gates. Hezrod is far too excellent at combat to be forced into a strictly healer role.
The unmitigated shade of Golradier. Classic Golradier.
The list appears to be everything that was kept by Golradier acting as treasurer.
Yeah,
Oh shit, we need a new treasurer.
The key.
Not I.
The key
Not I.
appears to be the room key to Golradier's room.
I think that should
Sure.
be Fiona.
Well, she's not here yet. You're the first one.
Oh, okay, fair.
So I would assume that next on the docket would be Malika.
Yeah. So Hezrod reads the letter first.
And then hands it over to Malika when she comes down, or just explains
Yeah,
it?
definitely. It'd just be like sitting on the bar next to him. Like he'd read it and be like, Oh, that is sad. I will take porridge and beer.
Oh, what's sad?
Golradir has left us.
He's what? Malika will read the note, and she hasn't gotten a chance to get that close to Golradir, but she values his power and his courage, so she's also sad.
Hezrod, when you say porridge and beer, he pulls out a large barrel and kind of sets it next to it. And he says, "Your friend left this behind." You're muted.
Yeah, he pulls it over and just like sets it down in the stool next to him.
My replacement Golradir.
Yeah, and then he's like sitting there, and so
drawing.
like as long as he's sitting there, he's sort of just like leaning on it.
He like checks his bag, finds like a yellow cloth, and like puts it on there like a set of hair.
What are we using for abs?
The barrel.
The barrel.
Wait, what is he handing over? Wait, what is it?
Oh, I was saying that he put the barrel next to him in the stool
Oh,
next
it's
to
a
him.
barrel.
A barrel of wine. And I was thinking that like that's a joke.
Yeah.
But remember, Golradir had killer abs too.
The barrel has
Adamantium
a
chainmail.
very flat side too. I don't know. You're not gonna replace those abs. I'm sorry.
Truly,
That is true.
Those abs were God given.
I genuinely don't think the abs are gonna get that high level.
They were a treasure of the.
Until Fiona comes
the
downstairs
people.
on strength day.
Yeah.
Hey, check out my abs.
Just Photoshop it so Fiona's drawing just has Golradir's like abdomen.
Hilarious.
We just need Fiona to get that strength, the 19th strength, and that crown.
What would it be called? I don't know. Anyway, Malika, after coming down, Alton, you come down long after. They show you the note. And, yeah.
I say, pour me an ale. We will leave it for Golradir over here. Even though he is not lost, but he is gone.
Right.
We shall leave it for our friend.
At least we know where to find them.
Cheers.
Malika holds up her mug of tea. His wisdom will be dearly missed in this group, I dare say.
By the ancestors.
What? It's not a terminology.
No, hey.
Wrong
no,
campaign!
Yeah, wrong game.
Malika gets this, like, disturbing chill throughout her whole body. What the fuck?
Oh, it's coming through my head. I'm sorry.
A halfling doesn't refer to them as ancestors, it's just Gemwich, and then whatever relation you have to Gemwich.
That's right.
Everyone is having dreams of goblins.
I'll get...
No, none of that.
Can I get a plate of fruit, please?
Yeah, absolutely, not a problem.
Thank you.
He walks to the back, and you can see him kind of like shuffling about. Comes back out with an apple, cut neatly, and looks like half of a melon.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And sets a silver spoon next to you for the melon.
Well,
He
it is quite...
Has anyone seen the wizard?
He shakes his head and he says, "I think she's up in her room. She'll be down in a bit, but I just wanted to let you know we weren't really going to force you folks to pay for your rooms or anything. What with you being friends of Fiona and all of that, but Golradir insisted in paying for quite a bit before he left. So just feel free to ask for anything we can do to help."
Hair of gold and a heart of gold.
The
That
man,
Adds
Golradir.
a feel.
I'll be honest, the man knew how to have a good time and keep spirits up, from what I could see.
This is true.
Indeed.
Goes back to washing a cup. Very bartender activity.
Right. It's like he just goes from having his hands on the bar to having like one hand inside the glass, and he's just like cleaning it.
Fiona comes down. The note's shown to you, of course.
Okay, perfect. So she looks at the note and she kind of scratches her head. Does anyone know what this word means? She points to one of like the longer ones. And after a minute, she
Oh,
kind of,
that word is. Oh no, wait. Malika doesn't even know how to read. Never mind.
she kind of looks at her dad. Dad, what's this one? And she's pointing at I think it's a committee, one of the longer ones.
It's festival.
It's expensive.
Your dad doesn't seem to notice.
She just takes a seat in front of him and she kind of scrunches her brows. Well, in any case, I guess it was nice of him to leave a note, but I could have sworn that he was going to say something. Dad, did you see him leave?
Yes, he paid our bill, I guess.
I did, my daughter. I believe your mother saw him at the end of her shift, and him and Estella left in the middle of the night.
Fiona kind of like nods her head at that. Oh, well, I guess they are a little secretive. His wife especially, she's a lot, but nice, I think. Anyway, Dad, I actually feel really good today. Could you get me something big, like some chicken or something, like some eggs or something big, please?
Yeah, I think I got something. Heads into the back.
She kind of swivels around in her chair like a few times, and she kind of sees the rest of you. Oh, good morning. Where's the tall dead one, Avran? Where's he?
I'm sure he's still asleep. Fiona, you seem different today.
Well, I feel really good, actually. It's funny you say that. I really woke up on the right side of the bed, I guess.
Has anyone else noticed that Fiona is different and then was also different before? She was different now.
She just keeps swiveling in her chair.
Speaking of different, as you're kind of cycling in the spirals, you can hear the clangor of your father cooking something, but you can see and hear the footsteps of a person coming down, and you see Avran, I'm assuming slowly, tentatively, coming down the steps.
Really groggy.
Does not require much perception. I'm hearing feedback on Shijo. Sorry. It does seem that there's something different about him. First off, his arm is fully restored. Second, the skin of his body is no longer a pale, gaunt, and like lifeless kind of tone. As an Osirian, you know the difference between a living creature and an undead one, even if your intelligence is bottomed out.
Yeah.
This person standing before you is Avran, but not a dead one.
He doesn't have his armor on for once.
She just gawks at him. What happened to your arm?
Malika's like smirking right now.
Oh,
She just kind of scratches her head. Avran, you don't look dead.
not anymore. I was gifted something.
Life. You were gifted life. she just looks between them all and sees Malika smiling. Malika, did you do this?
I did not do this. Such power is out of my reach for now, anyway.
She just kind of tilts her head again. Oh, you're muted, Chad.
Yeah, Hezron, yeah, he's just like noisily like slurping like porridge and beer. Like he's got just a big mug of beer in one hand and like a whole bowl of porridge. Like spoons are not Hezrod's thing. He's like just drinking porridge out of the bowl. But he's like also kind of watching everybody like there's a lot going on, but he doesn't really know what any of it is.
Verge just sort of limbering up for once.
A few moments later, Dad comes back over and kind of just out of nowhere has a spoonful of porridge, slops it into Hezrod's bowl, and then kind of wanders back into the back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
She kind of just sighs and looks at him again. Well, I guess if you're all right with it, I'm all right with it. But that's some serious magic, love. What did you do?
Don't know quite yet, but sure, find out eventually.
So now that his hand is like fully restored, is the fresh hand like a different color?
You start inspecting it?
Yeah, because that's one of the pretty much the only thing that stands out to Hezrod is the fact that Avran suddenly has a hand again.
Chad, I just want to make sure you understand that this is your birthday, okay? And I want you to know before we have this discussion and before we kind of move forward in this discussion, it's your birthday and you asked for this, okay?
Okay.
I went into the polls on the Patreon, I asked my question, and I withdrew my vote to make sure that it was a nice, even connection. And when you flip over Avran's hand and look into it, you see the mark of Alanusero emblazoned in his palm, which is also similar to the symbol of Duran Balkard, the Corruptor. It is clearly in his palm.
So he turns his hand over and he sees that, and then he just immediately puts his other hand over it, and he looks up at Avran and he says, "That looks itchy."
No. It's like the skin color is different for the mark. But other than that, it doesn't look like it's like anything crazy.
No, he was more like saying, like, hey, that's not a good look. He says, you may want to cover that up.
No, this is even funnier because Tom, who some of you have seen in the Discord, very old friend of mine, literally just posted for the first time in the Twitch chat. That's son of a... Oh, it's so good. But yeah, the symbol of Alanusero, but it's also very similar to the symbol of Duran Balkard, the Corruptor.
Yeah. And he smiles at Avran and he says,
that looks itchy.
Yeah. And then he like takes his hands away and he's like this.
Malika, you do not see it. Only Hezron has seen it.
And he goes and sits down. He goes back to eating and drinking. But he's kind of like watching Avran now.
Wait, I cannot see it?
You did not see it, and you do not know it's present. Correct.
If I take a look, it's there.
You look down your hand to see what he's talking about, and you can see it. And you kind of immediately kind of close your hand and, probably think about it, I'm sure. Or do you show it to everyone and, openly show everybody in the bar, hey, I've got the symbol of a very bad cult on my...
I'll probably hold on to doing that, and I'll just leave it to Hezron knowing for now.
Avran, what's wrong with your hand? What are you looking at?
just glad to have a new one.
Here, let me see.
Well, hold on. Make an insight check, Digito. Sorry.
I just want to boss him around.
I
That's
know,
all
I
there
understand,
is to
but
it.
you as a player know
Good
there's
argument.
something in his palm that you wouldn't have any inkling of in character unless Hezrod gave it away. So I've set a DC, and I'm going for it.
All right.
You have no idea that there's anything wrong with the hand. You think
Oh, what did I get?
you got a
Got a nat
1.
one.
Oh man.
And you have you have a bonus of 0. So what you think they're talking about is the fact that the arm is new, and Hezrod's kind of a healer, and he says that might be itchy because like it's kind of devoid of like really normal hair or anything. So that must be what they're talking about. There's no reason why you would want to look at his palm, unless
You're safe from my bullying for now, Avran.
unless Jonah wants to. Look what your friend did.
Hold on to that. We gotta hold on to that for now.
Okay.
Yeah, Fiona. oblivious to,
Malika, is this bad?
Is there a cream for this?
Yeah. Like, oblivious to all of the tension of that, I think Fiona would just kind of shrug and go, well, I guess I'm glad that you're not dead anymore. But now that Golrody has left us, you should probably, try to stay that way.
Handing the note to him, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the part that confuses Hezrod the most, is when Fiona was like, oh, I'm glad you're not dead anymore. And Hezrod's like, what are you talking about? He's been here this whole time.
If he
Professional.
does he say that?
No, he I'm assuming Chad fish face kind of like
He doesn't say anything. He's just like confused. He's like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what are they referring to?
His face is upturned. He definitely looked confused.
Upside down fish face.
But his confusion and his strangeness about the situation is quickly dispelled as the cook, Fiona's father, comes out with a whole ass chicken. It looks like it has been stewed in like root vegetables, carrots and potatoes, and you can see that he's kind of gone through the process of kind of salting and seasoning it. Specifically the way you like it. Like it's almost like it's a holiday kind of cook here. And he kind of smiles and starts carving into it and plating it.
She immediately squeals and jumps off her seat and like runs around and gives him like a big hug from behind. Dad, you don't know how much I love you right now. I know I don't say it often, but I truly think I love you.
No, I'm just letting you know your friend Golrody was very generous in his departure, so it's fine. It's fine. I've been wanting to cook one for a while. Just haven't had the extra money, and
she just smiles and keeps hugging him. It's all right, Dad. You don't have to try to be all gentle with me. This is a very lovely thing to do. She hugs him again. Do you want the leg?
No. I already ate breakfast. I'm good. I'm gonna save it for lunch, I think.
She smiles and then reaches over and grabs one of the legs, not wanting to wait for him to plate it, and then heads back to her seat.
Fiona, please make sure you save the chicken bone for me. It could be useful in a spell or two later.
He you see the dad actually reach kind of into it with like a knife and kind of pull out the wishbone and kind of hand it over to Malika.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sure this will be useful later.
I've heard something about, well, the wife goes on about fortune tellers and charms, so I figured that's what you were looking for.
The women folk always know. That's true.
That's why I do a lot of less thinking. It's easier that way.
Malika will wipe it off and stick it in her purse. Her
Okay.
pack.
Hezrod will dig into the chicken.
Okay.
Nobody stops.
Yeah, nobody does. So it looks like Fiona's got a plate of vegetables and a chicken leg. You kind of get served the carve that he was actually making up for her in the first place, and he offers it up to anybody who's interested in having a very hearty, possibly sleep-inducing breakfast.
Fiona actually claps her hands at that and looks around. Actually think you should all have a little bit. It's good to have a full stomach before you fight. And starts
We are
handing
fighting.
Who says we're fighting? I'm still going through emotional damage over here.
She just kind of scrunches her
Double.
brows.
Double emotional damage.
She kind of looks over at Malika. Well, don't we have to do that stuff? The the going to find people and things. And she kind of like waves her hand around, but she's like not really even paying attention. She's eating right now. Like she says this in between mouthfuls.
Your dad kind of
So-
goes, darn, I was hoping to ask you to run me a couple errands, but if you're off and doing more adventuring stuff or school stuff, that's fine. I'll just do it myself.
Fiona kind of actually perks up a little bit at that. Well, it's all right. I mean, what kind of task do you want?
Well, it's kind of dumb. Don't worry about it.
No, Dad. No, I feel bad. Tell me.
So, fine, I guess. I was hoping to make the Batavian Bloom cake that I make on special occasions for your mother. Since we're into some coin. But I can pick up the ingredients. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
He just kind of waves a hand at that. It's all right. I'm pretty sure I can at least do
Okay,
that.
that's great. He slams the list down on the table of the ingredients and starts walking into the back. Just make sure you get it as quick as you can, okay? And he's wandering
She
back
just
into
kind of
the
blinks.
kitchen.
She looks at the list. She looks down, blinks again, turns back. Oh, well, I guess we're doing this today.
Well, I do believe we have an agenda that has been passed on to us, so to speak, for now. It's probably fine to run a couple of errands to help your family. I'm sure there's no harm in that. So, out of character, she shows mind is like blank, butter, slippery, not remembering anything.
Sure.
But I imagine Malika would probably remember.
Malika would
everything.
remember. So, kind of the group as a whole came to the conclusion that the War of the Void is like the main kind of concern. It
Right.
seems that the entity that is associated with Fiona's pact is a part of that war. So
Right.
more information can be gleaned from it. But Seymour has already stated that the other entities are threefold. There's the Lady of the Deep, which is in Siffert's Pass. And actually, yesterday evening would have changed for the different chronologically. Number 2 is, well, the last one is the one that never was. And the second one is in my notes, which I don't have.
The one that never was.
Oh,
Another one was Atma.
Because didn't they want us
That
to
Atma
go?
was like tangentially involved.
hold on, Fiona, what was that?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, weren't they wanting us to go do like a scout, like a mission, basically? They requested of us that, didn't they?
What, Seymour?
No, the other man when he like pointed us onto the other cult.
The servant
basically.
of Duran Balcard, who
Oh,
we met
yeah.
in the store.
No, he said go
Yes.
mess stuff up. Like, go fight, the things that your entity wants to fight.
Right. I guess I just thought in my head that meant like this is a place where they would be, or like you should go there now.
No, so what you would know is Siffert's Pass is where the Lady of the Deep is, or was. You would know, too, that the followers of your entity are out and about, but you don't have any direct connections with them. You haven't really talked to them. They could be helpful, depending on what you want to do with them. I just remembered what the other one was. It was something to do with hands. But
The hands.
I
Sorry.
can't remember its name because it's in my notes and my whole ass hard drive is dead. So
It was the two that were in love and kissing, and then they became a bunch of hands.
it
Mhm.
was that, correct. And then it would be last but not least, the one that never was, which was shown to you in that vision, which was Atma.
So Vadius is the one that is like our contact.
Correct. He is the Meridian. Correct.
Right. So I just thought Vadius sent us on a mission, but he didn't. He just kind of told us to go continue doing what we're doing.
Correct. You're kind of having to
Okay.
suss out where to go from here.
Got you.
I've technically given you no direction, but I've given you an entire city to try and find one.
Yeah, the yes. Yeah, okay, cool.
Great. So you're discussing this during chicken potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You figure you can go and get this. You can get these ingredients relatively quick. It won't take long.
Great. Yeah, and I feel like Fiona will kind of run ahead a little bit even. Yeah, surprisingly, a lot of pep in her step. And after she returns with like the items, she would kind of ask the group. So, right, we have to make this really difficult for the cult. So where should we head to next, do you think? That city's probably our best bet, right?
There, Sifford's Pass, you mean?
Yes.
The hunt for the lady and her ilk.
Right, exactly. Unless anyone else has any other ideas or secret meetings I should know about. She kind of looks at Aaron.
None that I'm aware of.
Brand, let me see that new arm of yours. It's been a while since I've seen that.
He shows you the arm.
That looks awesome.
You gotta flex.
And I guess the weirdest thing about it is like he is very much new. So to explain that, like, so when you're a human, you kind of have time to kind of build up like a certain level of kind of like, you know, lived in, and like, you know, there's a certain grime element to, you know, someone walking around in a city. There's a certain kind of, he is very pristine. Like, everything is well manicured, like it was sculpted from nothingness. Which it was, because Duran's a piece of shit.
John, do I get my max HP back?
All of it, yeah. Long rest, woohoo.
No, I mean from the...
Also, yes. You are reborn.
I'm reborn.
Reborn.
If nobody objects, then I guess we can move on to Sifford's Pass then.
Yeah.
Wait, do we have would we like to leave right away, or should we take a day to prepare to leave?
Yeah, Hezron can pretty much hit the road right away. I think Avran, we still got 2 horses and a wagon? No, wait. No.
We got the
We've got
wagon.
2 horses, but the wagons are in Manus.
No, you went to Manus and you brought the wagons.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
okay.
Got the automated wagon and the wagon.
Auto carriage you returned to House Montelay.
Okay, so we just got the wagon.
Yeah, the conglomerate car you took back.
Averin, I don't want us to waste this new body you've got, so I think we should probably gather up some potions of healing. I can make them if we can take a day. I don't have any potions of healing now. Do any of y'all have some?
Hezron's got 2.
Nope. Everyone has none.
Double check.
I have never regretted taking a day to make some potions of healing, I'll tell you that much.
I know we can buy them for, I think, 50 gold apiece.
Did you check the list?
No. I can't read. I don't.
Oh, well, I mean, they'd be apparent once we actually go to collect the stuff.
Yeah.
God.
The worst case scenario is just cram it all into the wagon.
Wait,
Could I
so
remove prosthetic limb from my inventory?
Yeah, it's
Are you trying to
completed.
say that there are potions in there?
They're not.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, we have recipes for potions.
Well,
Potion of animal.
There's one potion.
Drink? I think it
Yeah.
was-
So
Sure.
we also have an adamantium chainmail shirt. Although I think Alton might have that.
Chainmail
I-
can't be worn by Alton.
I gotta
The
read all the
signet ring
prosthetic limb.
Stormsmith.
Yeah, it's a signet ring that bears the icon of a mercenary company known as the Stormsmiths. Correct.
Okay, and that's not like it's not like a magic signet ring.
No, it would be a quest item.
I got you. Okay. So it looks like we have recipes. We have
Same would
Yeah.
be true of the noose that was dipped in wolfsbane.
fair.
Yeah, but we don't really have like the potions, so I think
Yeah, we don't have any potions there.
If
But
everyone
I do
gives
it's a
have.
good idea.
if everyone will contribute 30 gold pieces, I can make 6 potions today, and we can distribute them out. If that's
We have
Fiona looks
17.
over at Avran.
I
We have
will-
1,700 gold. And okay.
Hold on.
I will give one of my brilliant rubies so we can buy.
Deal with the currency stuff on the side chats. You don't go to Avran.
Sorry, you know what's turn to Avran. Avran, now that you're a human again and it looks like you have all your limbs, can you sell that arm? Isn't that worth like 100 gold or something?
Arm's gone.
What's gone?
Gone. Your body was remade there and then. So everything that was
Oh,
supposed to be your body is now your body. So somewhere inside of you,
Prosthetic limb.
there's a prosthetic limb.
Nice.
That's interesting.
Can I use it as an extra attack?
Mute while you're typing. Oh, Chad, you're the worst. I'm gonna complain more. Wah, boo. You can't. There's nothing. Yeah,
I know.
just regular.
If I could, I'd like to repair my plate armor, my
Okay.
greatsword, because they're both pretty
Do you have
dinged up.
Smith's tools?
No, need
Okay.
to go to a smithy.
Sure. And you're wanting plate armor to be repaired?
Hmm.
Okay.
Unless it's gonna be like extremely expensive.
What's the current state of it? Is it fine?
Standard.
Oh, then it's fine. You can't repair it. It's perfect condition. Is it adamantium, the plate?
Yeah.
It can't do any better than that. It's unbreakable or indestructible.
Okay. What about my greatsword? It's at fine.
It needs one step.
How much is that?
So it would take a. What's the rarity of the greatsword?
Just a regular greatsword.
Oh, it's a regular greatsword. Just buy a new one.
I'll just okay. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
It's honestly just a better idea. It's going to take because it's a two-handed martial weapon. It's going to take 2 days to repair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have a longsword and shield +1, and I remember getting that from the church.
Yeah.
Can I go return that to them?
Do you want to?
I mean, I think it'd be best because they gave it to me for mission.
Do you want to? I'm trying to say that in a way that makes you think about it.
Oh yeah. Like I honestly do because they gave it to me for mission. Lent it.
Someone else explain it to him.
They're gonna notice immediately that you're part of this cult, dude. They're gonna try to kill you.
Oh, not know that.
You're going to go in there very different than you were yesterday.
Fiona doesn't know that, so she wouldn't tell you that. So if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah, and you're hiding your secrets from your ally, Malika. Is that wise, Avran, to hide your secrets from your ally?
That's out of character
Malika?
talk. You don't have to listen to it.
Sorry.
You don't have to listen to out of character talk.
Hey Jonah, is that like Atavian stuff?
Yeah.
That's why I'll take it.
Okay, cool. Give it to Ezra.
Ezra's the holy knight now.
You got a +1 shield and a longsword. +1.
So are we taking a day then?
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm sorry, you said a +1 sword and a +1 shield?
Yeah, longsword and shield. Yeah. +1.
Both +1.
Okay, so if I'm gonna get a new greatsword, how much would a nah, fuck it, just regular greatsword. I still have that wave cutter greatsword, which has failed me every time.
Sounds about right.
Every single time. No. Alright, we're good. Gee.
Okay. So 1 day downtime. Anybody else taking any downtime activities?
Yeah, I need to buy. Can I take time to buy the recipe for potion of healing?
Do you have herbalism trained?
I have herbalism kit,
Trained as a skill or a toolkit?
and I have medicine. Yeah.
If you have herbalism kit trained, you already have potion of healing. and medicine.
Herbalism isn't a skill.
It's a tool. You should have
Yeah,
proficiency.
I have it.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
If you have that tool proficiency, you gain the recipe for potion of healing. So
Okay,
Alright.
so Hezrod has that proficiency, but we also have another recipe for potion of healing that I think we picked up somewhere.
No, incorrect. Golradier's always known it because Golradier's always been proficient with the herbalism kit, and I always knew that. I didn't realize you two were also proficient, so that's my fault. It's my failing as a dungeon master.
Wow, how dare!
There are a couple of recipes in the stuff that was given to you, though.
Yeah, but nobody has ever wanted a potion of advantage, and that's fine. I accept that. So let's make some potions of healing.
Cool.
So I'll make 6. That should be 150. Right?
Yeah.
25 times 6 is 150. Okay.
All right. Avram, what are you doing with your downtime?
I don't think there's much I can do.
Cool.
Just practice
That's
my
fine.
swordsman stance.
Yeah, you got a new one. Fiona, downtime.
So after getting the supplies for the cake and everything,
Mhm.
she would spend a good portion of the day like actually with her parents, helping her out. But then toward like the evening, she would try to talk to Seymour and specifically try to ask him about whether he knows if there are any other people like him present.
You hear him kind of like as you're kind of trying to talk to him, like kind of like babbling to himself. It sounds like I don't know if you've ever worked in like a call center. But
Yeah.
it sounds like a bunch of people are talking to other people and trying to help them, but you're only hearing half the conversation. But it's like at least 30 conversations. And they're all Seymour's voice.
Oh.
And then you kind of like interrupt him, and then you kind of hear them kind of like finish and tail off their sentences. And then you hear oh, hello. Yes, I can try and help you find others that are associated with Raynek, of course. How is everything going with my form here? And you actually kind of look up and can see that the circlet is moving, like on your head. Like it doesn't feel like it is, but you can see that the eyes are kind of forming out of the circlet, which is now also Seymour.
She kind of takes that in for a moment. Oh, Seymour, have you been the one making me feel so good today? With all of I've been really hungry and I've been running really fast. Is that you?
No, 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 that wasn't me. It definitely feels like some portion of me has been bound to this circlet of yours by something very strange to be sure.
Well,
But-
basically, Seymour, we're going to go to this other place. It starts with an S. Can't remember, but it's some place
Sifford's
where there's
Pass, he says.
Right, Syphilis Pass.
Nope. Let's try it one more time. It's Sifford's Pass.
Sivord's Pass. Yes.
Si-
Ford. Yes. Sifford's Pass. Yes.
Right. Well,
Do you know if there's any other people like me there?
no, there was, but now things are weird there. So you know that Raynek has been busy fighting with the Lady of the Deep and trying to deal with the matters therein, correct?
Oh, yes, that's why we're going actually, because we're trying to help, like we said, trying to make it so there aren't as many of them.
Well, the Lady of the Deep isn't there anymore. She has retreated to the void.
Oh,
And when I say she, I mean they.
all of them.
Well, there's just the one, but now there's two that are one. Tonight is the night. Oh, no copyright infringement. Spice Girl's bad.
She kind of like puts her head at that.
Oh, so is it like you and me? Has a piece of you in my head now?
Yeah, it's just like me and you. Except that I don't really control what we would together call the body. The thing that's going on with the Lady of the Deep is that they both do. And so it's weird. And Raynek is confused because at first it felt like the battle was going to be joined by someone who was intent. Now it feels like someone is retreating, and Raynek feels that any strikes against them would be like kicking someone who was already fallen.
I see. So you're saying that if we go there, he'll be mad at us?
No,
and think-
because the Lady of the Deep isn't at Sifrit's Pass. The Sifrit's Pass is still kind of important, though. It would seem that the eyes of mortals are not quite as skilled as the eyes of servants of great old ones. And I think that you and I might be able to see something that others have missed. There is a black blade there that was once wielded by an individual named Sifford, which the town was named after. And
Clifford, yes, the name you told me.
if we can
Yes.
find that black blade, you and I could use it for great
Oh,
ends.
a sword? That would be nice. I don't have any weapons.
Well, have you ever used one before?
She holds up Helmuth's dagger.
Well, there's this. This is the only one I'm using right now. Is it like this?
That is a beautiful dagger you have. It is like that, except just a bit longer.
Oh, well, that sounds like a great idea. You're always looking out for me, Seymour. Thank you.
Chad, what are you waving your hand about? Fiona's in her own space. She's hidden away in this.
Okay. Is she like just talking to herself in the corner?
No, she went
In
to her
her
room.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is her nighttime activity.
That's totally fine.
All right. Hezron, your daytime activity. What are you thinking?
I mean, I already did all my shopping earlier this week.
You have herbalism kit if you want to pop some potions if you've got the currency.
I do. I mean, I could also pull stuff out of the party fund.
So Malika and Hezron would be, in the place together.
Drinking away at potions.
Probably find a place to kind of work together and utilize like a more like elaborate kind of herbalism kit, work together in tandem, quietly alone in a space to talk if they wanted to.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us a discount.
No.
God damn it.
Fuck no. Fuck.
You pay the full price.
Hezron.
Motherfucker!
Every cent.
Hezron, can you come back? So I guess, Chad, do you mind if we collaborate? If you want to, if you want to put in your funds towards the potions, they're a lot cheaper. I mean, they're only half price. Oh, you're muted. Oh, you're on the phone.
Yeah, sorry, I had a phone call. So you're asking me to pitch in on the potions?
Well, see, that way I can put in. I'll have 6, and you'll have 6.
Okay, how much do I need to put in?
150 to get
That
6.
doesn't have a whole lot of money. He was
It's
pitching
just
everything.
150.
150 to get 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
do not currently have 150.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
I don't either. We'll pull it from the
The party
group.
fund had
Yeah, party
about
fund.
750 in the amount of 12 diamonds, which you could utilize to go purchase
Did
the
it also have
reagents.
idols?
It had
We
a gold statue, correct, and there There was a star
1700.
sapphire, which the price for which would have been 50 gold pieces.
Did we have liquid cash?
The gems do serve as liquid cash. Actually,
Okay.
the star sapphire is 50. Sorry.
Well, on the very top left, it says 1,700 gold.
Yeah. There's also coin.
Okay.
But
So,
what I'm saying is the gemstones are also currency.
But the diamonds, I would love to keep those around in case we need to cast Revivify.
In case Hezrod has to become the healer now.
Yeah. So now it's like I gotta waste a spell preparation to keep Revivify on deck. Not to mention, mass healing word, cure wounds.
I thought you were gonna say to keep Afran alive.
No, don't keep that Revivify. Fuck that shit.
Oh, by the way, Fiona has identified, like, she would spend the time to look over everyone's things before we go to sell them in case people are wondering if there's any extra things going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, nothing special on the items that Golrier would have had.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gotten everything sorted.
Friend's just out in like a yard somewhere, just practicing how to hit stuff.
Oh, would they want to buy just basic leather armor in the town? Would they give me anything for that?
Are you looking for like a medium armor?
Sorry, no, if I sold my leather armor.
I don't know. It's not terribly expensive. You have 1,700 coin in the Golrier pool. But I do need.
No, sorry. What I'm saying is, I already have I got studded leather armor, and now I just have my old leather armor, and I just want to offload it.
Oh.
So she would just give that to Hezrod because she knows he's gonna sell some stuff. So you also can add just random leather armor.
Yeah, it's gonna sell for like 1/5 its cost.
Got you.
2 gold. Take it or leave it.
It might be less than that. I don't know for sure. But yeah, if you're doing selling and purchasing, whoever your treasurer is, I don't trust any of you as much as I trust Elizabeth. So I imagine that's just going to be lying that you're doing at me. But yeah, just keep track of coin and do your best.
Oh God, we're fucked.
Be prepared to be lied at!
We lost the most important member of the party.
All right, so Bijou, how much are we spending from the party's fund to make potions?
You're gonna spend from the party fund 150, and I'm spending 150 of mine because the ones that I bottle will not be available to anyone unless they give me 30 gold.
So
it's very American.
Meanwhile, the ones I make are going to be available to the party because they're going to need them.
What Alton would do as a smart process is he would take 30 times 6 out of the party fund and hand it to Malika.
And I'm also with Malika and Hezrod looking for.
So you net gain 30 coin, and the party fund goes down by 180. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Dijou, you made 30 coin, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm doing the easy math because you said 30 per thing, which is 5 more than what you used to make it, right?
Than what I spent, yeah.
Right. So if they give you 180 out of the party fund, you put 150 of your own in. Then that means you earned 30 coin.
Right. But I mean, Alton, are you gonna do that? Or are you gonna buy off all of my potions?
Yeah,
is that what you want to do?
Golrier's money. Who cares?
Okay. Well, I'll sell you. I need 2 on my body, so I will sell you 4 for 30 each.
While we're there,
that's 120. So I'm gonna change my total plus 120.
Gotcha.
Right. So while we're at the market, I'm gonna look for some
the market
poisoning stuff, so I can start crafting using my poisoner's kit.
You have a poisoner's kit, so you're looking for. Oh, you have a poisoner's kit. That's important. You would have a couple of items. You have assassin's blood. You have let's see, what was it? It's the stabby one. Serpent venom? What's serpent venom? Yeah, serpent venom. Some of them don't have cool pictures. Sorry. Some of them don't have the recipe stuff in there either. Also, sorry.
I know the
So
serpent, we would have had to face a giant snake, so I didn't recall.
No. This is stuff you know how to make just because you have a poisoner's kit. This is stuff that you get off the bat. And the recipes for them, for the serpent one, if you want to make it, it's going to cost you 25 gold pieces to make. You're basically buying the venom and utilizing it to distill it into its more pure form. Assassin's blood costs 75 gold to make. And I believe the last one was Essence of Ether. Yeah. Which costs you 150 to make. These are the ones that you get based on your yeah.
So as part of, I guess, my downtime activities, could Hezrod try to get rid of these art objects?
Yeah.
Go ahead and I think liquidating those would probably be good if we're going to be getting on the road.
Okay.
Because everything else is just like ingredients, recipes, miscellaneous, like small stuff that's easy to haul around.
You wouldn't personally sell them, you'd hand them to Alton, whose downtime activity day is selling shit, and your downtime activity is making potions. So yeah,
sounds great.
You and
Malika probably be able
go ahead.
Yes, better.
Yeah.
I'll be your fence.
You and Malika are cooped up in a room, cooking up potions.
Oh, can we be like? Does the inn have like a little backyard, like a little mini back area? Okay, that's where we would be.
It's a cider garden.
A cider garden. So we've got a cauldron.
Yeah. Well, you're pulling out your own herbalism kits, which would have retorts.
Does it have a little cauldron?
Well, yeah, it would have like a small little what's it called? Alembic? I forget which one's the one that.
Oh, an alembic.
Alembic, yeah.
I want it to be skinned as a little cauldron.
Okay, yeah, adorable. Love it.
Okay.
And yeah, it's basically just like a little, kit for cooking up herbal things. And the two of you are out there on the cider garden doing your potion making. Alton's out market, and Avran is practicing. And Fiona was... What was Fiona doing again?
She was just like hanging out with her parents most of the day. She would have given some of her things to Hezrod to offload, but other than that, she's at the tavern the whole day.
Well, you partake in the delicious cake, and it's a very good time hanging out with the family. And then the night kind of goes by uneventfully. It's midweek or mid-6th day, so you kind of all head to bed, wake up the next morning, ready for travel. Now, I've got the main map in front of you there. I guess my question to you is the goal to head to Sifrit's Pass directly? Or do you want to go anywhere else? Again, the sky's the limit. The world is yours to take.
We wake up again and then we're heading out, you're saying?
Yeah. And I'm actually going to put it, since I just kind of want to have everyone's opinion out on the table. I'm going to start with Brian, and then I'm going to go from there to the left, and we'll just kind of see what your opinion is. So kind of voice your opinion. People can kind of talk about that opinion, and then we'll kind of move from there. So, Brian, what do you think is the best choice for the group? Do we want to go to Sifrit's Pass? Again, yes. I'm assuming the information that's been kind of relayed out about Sifrit's Pass has been disseminated over the course of the evening. Is that fair to say, Fiona?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The only thing she wouldn't have said is she might not have mentioned the sword. Like, she would have just said that that Seymour has his little eyes everywhere, and he told me he can help me find some cool information. So hopefully I can find out some new leads.
I also forgot something. Roll a d6.
I was just gonna say it's a new day. Yeah. Ooh, same number.
Yeah, you're still swole.
Swole as hell. She was feeling ready.
Well, not like
I-
you're not buff. You're swole. You're just-
I go, well, if Fiona and Seymour think we need to go to this pass, then let's go on our adventure. I trust them. They haven't led me astray yet.
Well, I
So,
should say, I
Fiona
think
is
we should
feeling a
proceed
little-
with caution, my friends. I don't really want you to trust me that much. There's apparently still a presence he warned me about that might be, well, it's gone now, but I'm just saying we should have our eyes open.
She kind of like interrupts him.
But thank you for your faith in me. It was very kind words. Continue, please.
Kind of backs away.
I lost my train of thought with that one. I go, "Yeah, whatever she said. Let's head to the pass, and
Okay.
I have full faith.
Jijo, understanding the situation as it is, seems like party information has been passed amongst each other, with the exception of obviously your horrible cultist, and also Avran is in a bodysuit made out of evil.
Don't they know that I'm a horrible cultist from that interaction in the sewer?
3 of you do. 5 of you don't.
Wait, who does?
So Avran knows,
From the sewer.
and Alton knows, but Hezron and Fiona don't.
Yeah.
They were there.
They were not there. They did not go with
In
you
the
for the
I
Avran.
didn't
no, in
know.
the in the sewer where we fought the
Like-
proboscis.
I was
Yeah,
not-
but what did that have to do with you? As far as we knew, you were that had something to do with
They don't know how deep the cultistness goes. They just
right. Yeah, we thought that was like a facade.
So they just know that you have a pact with an evil entity that apparently Vadius is the same with. They do not know you have a cult that had members up until not too long ago. Yeah, they are
Yeah, Fiona just thinks that you're like
like her.
I guess like me, just like a kind of dark warlock, but her
I am-
patron never asked anything weird, so
I am just like you.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I think Fiona figured it out. Avran was kind of let in on
Yeah.
secret when you recruited him, and I think Alton was also present for that. So Alton also knows. I think the only one that doesn't really know is Hezrod, and
Fiona
that's because there's
knows,
probably been like some very oblique references to it, but Hezrod was kind of oblivious.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, Hezrod,
Or
we're
if
kind
you-
of in the
if
same
you did
boat.
notice,
Fiona
you
doesn't
didn't
really
care.
know either.
same boat, correct?
Yeah. Hezrod, you and me are both. Also, she's not very smart anymore. Like, keep that in mind. You were in the same boat here. Like, we don't really know that she is anything other than a warlock.
Don't know, don't care.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
So, Jijo, the main question is: do you wish to go to Sifrit's Pass, knowing what you know about it from the group talk, or do you wish to go somewhere else? Is there somewhere else that you have in mind?
At this time, I can't think of anything else that
Okay.
needs to be prioritized.
Perfectly fine. Chad, Hezrod, same. Yeehaw, let's go to Sifrit's Pass.
Yeah, I mean, he still is like dead set. I mean, he's got all kinds of objectives, but none of them seem like they're really within arm's reach right now. He wanted to go. He wanted to fight the dragons outside of Land's End. He wanted
Still
to
on the
find
table.
some way to bring that hag back to life, but it's
Way
like
off
too
the
much time.
table.
Yeah. So I guess for now, if it means that like, hey, there's something urgent in this direction, and this is where other people need to be.
Wait, does he? Who knows about you wanting to bring that hag back to life?
I don't think.
I think so far Alton is the only one he's mentioned it to. He was trying to have Alton work out a deal, and there was a deal on the table, but there were details that weren't working out.
Yeah, like you were going into a sewer to get locked in there and have to fight stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Jonah, Avran,
Yes.
knowing the details that have been mentioned, interested in going to Sifrit's Pass?
He's not really too keen on helping out Valcard. But he also wants to go to Ludo's.
It's pretty
I
far
don't think
away.
we know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll show you. It'll take a second.
Get back to my screen.
So, you are currently in the region known as the Broken Blade Coast, which is set between the kingdoms of Munio and Liberus.
Hmm.
The following map is the continent map. Should see Nock there. And last time I checked, I believe the measurements are accurate in miles.
Ooh. So where are we?
Nock.
That's all the way up there.
All the way up to the north?
If you were going to Ludos, it'd be 1,235 miles.
Interesting.
Approx.
Okay.
Yeah, closer to 13.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's like a month of overland travel.
At least.
With elk
Yeah.
and horse in tow.
So, at some point during the potion making time, Hezrod probably would have mentioned to Malika something about wanting to bring that hag back to life. We can sort out the details of that conversation later, but it's on the table.
My dearest Hezrod, I can't imagine how that could happen, but I'll pray on it. I'll pray on that on that wish of yours and see if we can't come up with something.
Thank you. It bothers me.
You're a good man, a good fish man, Hezrod. We'll talk about it later.
Aside from wanting to go to Ludos, everyone would second the dragon killing.
Okay. And Fiona? Siffert's Pass, probably.
Yeah, Siffert's passed. Any other kind of like tasks along the way, she's down for. So the dragon killing thing, I guess because that's like one of our tasks, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, that would be cool with her as well.
And yeah, something you could do. It doesn't seem related to like the grander goal, but again, it's
And it's quite a ways. Like, we'd have to travel all the way back to Land's End for that.
Yeah.
That was just like, Hezrod was like really pumped up for it before we left, and was like trying to say, let's not go to Nock, let's fight Dragon.
Siffert's Pass is actually a really good median point because if you follow the road to Siffert's Pass and then kind of make your way from Siffert's Pass up through across the way to Land's End, there's actually a crossing there.
Oh yeah.
Near Sindo.
There are some areas that we haven't discovered. We could also take the long way and go through Fort Carpenter into the land of Ta.
Absolutely a thing. So, if that's the case, we're leaving out of the south gate of Nock and moving onto the main road. As you kind of get your feet for walking and kind of make it out quite a bit of ways from the city, maybe like a half an hour's travel so far, you do see that there is a decent amount of travel coming into the city. It looks like there are a number of patrols, a lot more patrols than you would have seen before. House Serrata patrols that seem to be heading back to Nock. Avran, you definitely recognize the movements here. As far as troop movements go, it looks like these are relieved troops. So some conflict has ended, and these troops have been relieved of it. As they're kind of passing you by, you also notice a very brightly colored auto carriage strolling past. Looks like on the back of it, there's a minecart attached to the back end, filled with look like parts of armor of a large thing. And the person at the wheel of the auto carriage appears to be a very angry-looking doll girl. And they drive past you and head towards the city.
Well, as they're passing, are they Octavian soldiers?
Oh, the soldiers are of House Serrata. The van, the auto carriage, there's no way they're seeing you. They're going at a good clip. They're driving real fast.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on my giant ass elk, so they'll see me.
Can I ride on your elk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Wait, do we have a wagon?
Yeah.
Okay, Malika's
So we're currently traveling in a wagon and
baby.
Malika's definitely in the wagon.
Yeah.
Everyone is the
I'm gonna
driver.
put Malika on the wagon too.
I don't think Hezrod has proficiency with land vehicles.
Isn't that
Um,
only in combat?
No.
no, you do need to have proficiency with land vehicles to be able to maneuver them well.
Right.
I believe Avran has it because he had a carriage.
Yeah, but he's apparently riding on his elk because he's too cool for that shit.
No, my elk is attached to the carriage because
Okay,
remember we lost a horse.
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah, we did.
I
No,
lost.
we have more horses though, don't we?
We
Yeah.
have strong. No, we have Swiftmane and
An elk.
I don't know. Did we have a second horse?
Yeah, I thought we had 3 horses and we lost one.
Yeah.
We
So
stole horses from that place.
I can't remember the name of the second horse. That's your job. The elk
No, it-
also doesn't have a name, but the point is the elk is strong enough to do it itself. It's a very strong creature.
All right, yeah. So we have a wagon and we have these horses.
Right.
Swiftmane.
So I guess if we want to hitch the elk to the wagon, and then Avran can run the wagon. That way he's got his elk and his wagon. And then we have 2 free horses for other people to ride around on. Hezrod will have no he would love to romp around on a horse, especially now that he's got like a sword and shield. Like he's like all giddied up like he's a real knight.
Well,
Like
you would see too that as you're kind of moving down the road, just off the road is a very large kind of hill that's almost like the top of a cupcake. And you can see that there are white kind of picket fences and kind of white stable fences around the place. You can see horses running free up on the top of this hill. Yeah, it looks like there's a blonde-haired woman, kind of very angelic looking, kind of running around, kind of brushing the animals and just having a great time up there on the hill. You can see signage that denotes that appears to be some sort of ranch where they stable and keep horses and sell horses.
as Hezrod's kind of riding separate from the wagon up on his horse, he kind of like pulls aside and is like reading the sign and kind of looking up at everything that's happening. And he's kind of like stopped off to the side like he wants to go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But if other people want to keep moving, he's not going to fight you.
Perfectly fine. If you do pass it by, you will note that it looks like there's another road that's smaller still. This is about a couple hours in. And it looks like it kind of veers off to the west. It looks like most of the troop activity that you're seeing is coming from that road. You can see a couple more patrols that are kind of making their way down that path, or that area. That does not appear to have signage leading towards Fort Carpenter. Instead, it looks like it's marked as being noted as Richter's Pass, mile marker, Siffords Pass, or Richter's Mine, mile marker, Siffords Pass, mile marker. This road, the smaller road, appears to be the one that you need to go down to get to where you want to go.
Is it too small to accommodate the wagon?
No, big enough.
Okay. Yeah.
You can actually see tire tracks from the auto carriage. Looks like it probably came from here as well.
Yes, and Hezron will indicate the path and kind of wait up for everybody to get the wagon in there.
Do I move my token into the Richter's Mine?
You can if you want. So when you come to the base of the mountain, you would see that there's a pass that goes up, and then there's another pass that leads in. It looks like about 20 minutes, ride or walk. You can see down the way there is a very distinct looking kind of entrance into the mountains. It looks like there was a town present there, but it looks like it's ruined now. Like a very small town, kind of like at the opening to this pass. And then it looks like the signage indicates that pass leads to Pass End and Siffords Pass, which are two different towns denoted by this road marker. And the road marker also denotes Richter's Mine up the mountain. So on to Siffords Pass or up into the mine. It looks like there are still troops coming down the mountain pass. Like they're up in Richter's Mine. They're not over in Siffords Pass.
I mean, aside from just, greetings and glances and whatnot, everyone would probably ask, what's going on? Why are there so many soldiers coming from that mine?
Do you ask one of the soldiers? Yeah. He says, well, First Pass was attacked by a monstrosity, an army of undead, and demons. We came to fight, and those that remained were able to protect Richter's mine after retreating out of Sifford's Pass. A group of heroes came in a very brightly colored auto carriage and assisted, found a secret pass through Richter's mine into Sifford's Pass, and because of that, we were able to get down there, and word is they lost a couple of their people in the process, but they killed the Lady of the Deep.
What?
They killed the Lady of the Deep?
That's what the management's saying. And this other guy says, "Fuck yeah, they did. They fucking killed her. Got in the bitch."
You want to kind of stick your head out of the what is it called? The
Wagon.
wagon. Yeah.
You said you protected the mine. What were you protecting it from? I thought you said they were attacking at Sifford's Pass.
No, so they were attacking both, and it seems like they were coming through the mountain in that pass that the adventurers found. And so when they went down there and they found that secret pass, the army was able to move through it to get to them. They say it was some sort of like web of teleportation doors.
Yeah, Fiona will kind of like her face will scrunch up in confusion, like she's thinking really, really hard.
That takes a lot of strategy and organization. So this wasn't some just random attack then.
No, probably not. Yeah, they had a necromancer. Those folks aren't stupid. Well, I mean, they are because they don't follow the righteous light of Atavius. But, I mean, they're not like, they think they're smart. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yes. But
Yeah,
you said
fuck
about
necromancers too. I hate them. Fucking. That guy's
the
belligerent.
necromancers. Did they die? The necromancer, or did they get away?
Yeah, they said his corpse was right outside of some temple just a ways into the land of Ta.
Was there a turtle with them?
There wasn't a turtle with them, no. Sorry.
And, are they able to get rid of all of the undead in the mine?
Oh, you kill a necromancer, yeah, I mean, yeah.
So you're all just cleaning up now at this point, I take it.
Well, we're leaving. I think they're leaving a small contingent at Richter's mine. And from what I hear, House Serrado's been called to muster a rebuilding crew for Sifford's Pass.
I look at Avran, and I'm like, I don't believe this guy whatsoever.
Oh, if he's wrong, then all of the people are going on some crazy advice that he's suggesting, because you've seen a literal force of like hundreds moving up the road, so...
I don't think they killed Lady of the Deep that easily.
Oh, fair, fair. Well, he thinks they did.
Yeah, they definitely did.
We're gonna...
Shisha, easily.
Avran, I'm like,
Shisha, they didn't kill the Lady of the Deep that easily, Shisha. They didn't do it. They didn't kill the Lady of the Deep that easily. It was so easy, that kill, wasn't it?
So,
I don't know anything about the Lady of the Deep.
I don't know shit.
Hezrod will ask if this creature's remains are still there.
Yeah, I think so. I think some folks from Montoulet were called out to investigate it, but I don't think they've arrived. I haven't seen them.
You said so it's passed if it's passed by tar, you said.
What's that?
You said that the corpse, it's by tar?
Well, it's just outside of the pass. The pass leads to Ta.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, thank you very much for the heads up. We were just heading to Sifford's Pass ourselves. Is there a faster way there, or should we just follow this road?
You just go into Sifford's Pass. The other guy goes, "Yeah, fucking follow the road. Goes right there. Nothing but fucking ruins. Have fun."
Hezrod takes off down the road.
All right. Carriage travels on.
Yes, yeah, we follow.
He's like riding hard, and he looks really pissed off.
So you come to a point where you get to Pass End, and Pass End is apparently the remnants of a town. Nothing remains. It's completely obliterated. You can see that the walls of the canyon that kind of lead in through the pass, or are basically the means of it being a pass, appear to be scarred looks like they were burned. This is a scarification you've seen before, because, well, some of you have seen before, specifically Averin, Hezrod, and Fiona. When you went to the temple where the conglomerate had taken over, you saw how the stone was burned by the Lady of the Deep's form. It looks like the Lady of the Deep was up on the canyon walls, at least the northern one, and moving about. And you can see the scarification kind of down it as it came down and descended on the town.
Hezrod's gonna ride up like the absolute like desolation that used to be this little town. Hezrod like rides up into the middle of it, and he kind of hops off his horse, and he's kind of like standing there and looking all around him. And he has like a bit of a flashback moment.
Very familiar.
Yeah. And he's kind of just sitting there in the silence and the destruction, and then he just says, "Hello! Are there any survivors?" He's not expecting an answer.
Yeah! You hear a voice come from one of these ruins. Who are you?
Yeah. He turns around and he says, "Hello?
Hey!
I am Hezrod. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Do you need help?
No.
How did you survive this?"
I mean, lucky, I guess. And you see this little face kind of pop out from behind like a stone wall. And it's like this very kind of just cherubic looking little man. It looks like a halfling, actually, size-wise. And he's just kind of staring at you like, huh.
"Oh, you are smaller than I thought you would be."
You're bigger than I thought you would be.
"I get that a lot."
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I usually hang with people that are about my size. Well, I guess I don't hang with anybody anymore since I've got to keep here.
"Why is that? Keep here."
Oh, because Pass End is our ancestral home, and I don't want anybody claiming it for Serena or anything.
"Fair.
Yep.
I have a friend, Alton. He is small like you."
Looks out a little bit further. Does he see Alton?
I'm not sure if Alton's in the wagon or
Well,
I think he's on the elk.
I'm riding on the elk on its horns.
I'm asking,
Antlers.
are you hiding though? Are you keeping yourself hidden, or like you just pretty openly showing
I'm
yourself?
pretty open right now.
He
There's
kind of goes,
nothing.
"You look familiar. Do you know my cousin Gemwich?"
He says that to Hezrod?
No, saying the two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know Gimwich. Yeah,
What's he? He's my cousin.
he's my cousin too.
Oh, is he your
They're
cousin?
removed.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's not too bad. He's my first cousin. So yeah,
Oh, okay, so
Gemwich
what-
actually helped with a situation similar to this not too long ago. Lady of the Deep came down and like attacked our Pass End like a couple hundred years ago, and he fought her off single-handedly. I don't know why House Serena couldn't do it, but since they can't offer that kind of protection, that's why the family of Greenbottle is going to stay here and make sure Pass End isn't given away to the people of Nog. It's our
That's a great
town.
idea.
You're right.
You keep doing it,
Do you-
my good friend.
Do you happen to have any rations? I mean, I've got a good source of clean water, but kind of waiting for my friends to come back with some food. But if you have some, I could just maybe that would help.
Let me ask Hezrod in the wagon if we have any rations back there. I don't have any per se.
No, Hezrod's way out ahead of you.
Yeah, he's running.
Yeah, Hezrod's on his horse.
Hold on, let me check my sheet here. I should have a couple days rations. Yeah, I got 5 rations.
If
Yeah, I'll
you
give
pass
him
him
2.
5 rations, oh,
No, 2.
Okay.
2 rations.
if you pass him 2 rations, he says, "Oh, this should tide me over until my friends get here." I appreciate it. What's your house name, or what's your tribe name?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm gonna keep moving on my elk here.
You don't tell him your tribe name?
No.
Oh, okay. He seems like
Looks like Greenwood.
As that happens, Fiona kind of like raises her hand.
Hello, could you tell us where most of the fighting happened?
And she kind of looks around.
I mean, I know it was kind of everywhere, but is there like a cave or something where it started?
he points Sifford's Pass is where it happened, ma'am.
She nods her head and looks in the direction and just kind of squares her shoulders.
All right. Is it safe to go there now? Is the road not collapsed or anything?
I don't have any claim on that place, so I wouldn't know. I haven't really made the trek myself. Sorry.
She just kind of shrugs her shoulders.
That's fine. You're doing a good day's work, I guess. Did you want to come with us, or are you happy here?
I gotta say, just in case House Rada passes by trying to take over the town, so there's that. But I would say, if you listen to the words of my very wise and astute cousin Gemwich, he says to always be cautious, because it's better to see the snake bite you than to not know what did it, because you can cure a snake bite if you know about it, but you can't if you don't.
Just kind of scratches her head.
I'm
I'm
immune
not.
to disease.
I don't know any snakes. I'm not a druid. I'm sorry. I don't do that. Can we just pass now? Is that fine with you?
Oh yeah, Gemwich had a brother. His name was Finkus. Finkus was a druid, and he just kind of like mutters and says, "Thanks for the rations," and then walks away.
Well, before he walks away, Malika wants a piece of it too, of this interaction.
There.
She'll say, "You're very brave to guard your land this way. You're brave, courageous, and I would say even selfless to think of future generations. When and if desperation strikes, reach out into the void for courage, for that inner strength, and don't be afraid
Oh no.
if you hear."
He says, "Oh no. I mostly just run away." But that's
Running away is all right.
that's good advice, I guess. I might try it. I don't know. We'll see. Reach into the void. And
I see.
something.
It will be a hard fight to do what you yearn to do and protect your land,
Yeah.
right?
No, probably not. I mean, he kind of raises up a law book.
Very well. You're well protected by the law. I see.
You're pretty sure that he's just here. If House Rada shows up, he's gonna be like, "Hey, documents! You can't take this place. It's ours."
Is this Eli? Is this Eli the character?
If House Rada was in like he's dead, like they could do that, but they're not going to because House Rada is very lawful. So.
Okay.
Yeah, he's literally just here he's a stake claimer.
Very well. I certainly hope you don't suffer a snake bite in the night. Take care of yourself.
You see him coming, just like, "Yep," and head back beyond.
He hides back behind his rock.
That like fucking fishing expedition just did not
As you kind of
provide fish.
Yeah, he's not one. As you continue on, you would note that the camera changes to just him and his thing, and he's kind of like, didn't say his family name. Probably a serpent toes. And then it cuts back to you folks heading through the pass.
To be honest, I totally forgot my family.
Diggle is your family name.
Diggle.
Okay.
Are we going?
Don Diggle.
We're going north?
It's been so
or are
long
we going
since we played this.
So you're going west into the pass, and it is basically a pretty long pass. As usual, I think I'm getting feedback again. Sorry. As you're kind of continuing on, you do notice that there is a decent amount of scarification on the northern side of the canyon at the top, like something Lady of the Deep sized was kind of moving across the top of the canyon at a very great clip, chasing something. You do also notice a lot of footprints on the pass kind of road. Looks like these are rather fresh. Looks like a lot of people were escaping from the town. And as the town comes into view, it looks like it's pretty much destroyed with the exception of the wall, which basically closes off the pass. The door is completely wide open. There are a couple of buildings that are pretty much broken down. There's a massive hole in the center of the town. And then right when you're coming in, the very first thing you see is a tower. It looks like the tower is basically cut in half. The top portion of it kind of resting up in the sky. it looks like it's been mounted to another portion of rock that it was standing near. But it looks like the tower is actually connected to rock by wooden like planks. Like it was, the tower was falling apart. They tried to sturdy it, and then the bottom portion of the tower fell away.
That's always unlucky.
So, knowing what Hezrod knows about destruction,
Mm-hmm.
can he kind of identify some of the potential sources of some of the destruction they're looking at to kind of maybe try to piece together what happened here?
Yeah, just looking at it, it looks like the fight that happened here was very much between foot soldier types. It looks like there were very disparate sides. One not as large as the other. It looked like a lot of undead, some that appeared to have just appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the town, attacked the people who were in this town, and very much to the chagrin of the people who were defending it. Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with the fortress full of undead we encountered like a weeks ago?
Could be.
Fair.
You do see that there is one building that looks like it's broken up, but it doesn't look like it's completely destroyed like the other ones. And it looks like this building has a roof that, if you're from kind of the Midwest, you've seen a building that's kind of like this. They painted on the tiles of the roof to form words, and it says Red Dragon Inn. And it looks like there's people inside of it.
Yeah. And is that written in like common?
Yeah, it says Red Dragon Inn in like the most like hillbilly kind of text.
He reads that and then takes a moment to process it, and then Hezrod like trots over and like hitches his horse and goes inside.
Okay. There are no other horses hitched.
Oh, well, I think they might have alcohol.
That's fair. There are no other horses hitched, so you notice that the people who are here are probably like long timers. And when you kind of enter in, there's a guy kind of sitting at the bar, kind of looks over at you, like his head kind of snaps and kind of looks over at you. The woman who's behind the bar, she looks like she's, you know, a lithe individual, but she looks like she kind of moves with like panther-like movements. There is a cloak that's floating near the guy who's sitting at the bar. It appears that it is a beholderkin, bright yellow in color, who is kind of looking over at you and is trying to conceal the fact that he is a beholderkin by having a cloak that's kind of floating off of him. But he's very much just a beholderkin that's bright yellow sitting there. You do notice that sitting kind of like in the back end of the bar where it looks like the roof is kind of blown out. You didn't see him from outside, but you see him now. There's an ogre kind of sitting there holding a keg, kind of looks over at you kind of lazily, kind of goes, and then just starts sipping again.
Yeah, as he like walks in, everybody kind of like looks at him. He's like looking at them as well and kind of like sizing them up.
Lady behind the bar says, "You're not with House Serena." Well, not at all. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Hezrod. I would like a drink.
Sounds good. Well then, we've got
Walks up to the bar.
one option on tap. She serves you an ale. It looks pretty boring and plain.
Yeah, is it like in a small glass?
It's in a wooden tankard.
Okay. Yeah, he picks it up, smells it, throws it back, and I imagine probably drinks it pretty quickly.
Yep.
Slams it back down on the table and says, "Anything stronger."
That's it. Pours another one. And then the second tankard, pours a second one, and sets that there. Friend here figures if you drink them fast enough, it'll feel like you're drinking something heavier. Guy kind of looks at you and goes, and this guy does not look like an adventuring type. He literally is dressed like a farmer man. But you can tell by his frame and just the blisters on the knuckles that he fights.
Hezrod kind of sizes him up for a second and then nods and then like quickly drinks both of them and then says, "How much for a barrel?"
I mean, It's fine, I guess. What, 25 gold, I guess, for a barrel?
And we're talking about like one that's big enough for him to like lug around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he'll give him the 25 gold.
Or the 25 gold. Okay. So she spots it. The guy who's sitting at the bar looks over at the beholderkin, says, "I'm going for a dart. You want to go for a dart?" He says, and they head off outside. As you folks are kind of like standing outside, see Hezron do this, setting up the wagon outside, dismounting, kind of looking at the situation. You see the farmer man that I mentioned and the beholderkin that I mentioned come outside. He pulls out what appears to be a really nice kind of silver case, pulls out a cigarette, lights it with a tinder box, and then shuts the box and puts it away. Then sets one on the mouth of the beholderkin and lights it.
I know that fucking beholderkin from somewhere.
I go, Malika.
Malika mutters out loud.
Is that the beholderkin that ran away from your little group?
Wait, would Alton know that? I wouldn't. No, Alton, you wouldn't know that.
Oh, I thought I was with you. I couldn't remember.
No, that was from before.
Oh.
Regardless, once Hezron gets his keg of beer, he's gonna take it and he's just gonna walk over to the table with the ogre and just sit down next to him and start drinking. Like Hezron just smiles and like raises his like mug, so he's like filling his mug from the barrel, but he like cheers to the ogre. I just want whoever walks into the inn next to just see Hezron sitting in the corner with an ogre like it's nobody's business.
The ogre looks kind of timid, like you kind of get the vibe that he's like nervous around you, but you actually then kind of pick up, because your insight's not terrible, that he's not. He's trying to kind of like inaudibly kind of get the attention of the barkeep. She says, "Go ahead, hun. You can do it. You don't have to go outside to do it. You can do it there. The roof's open. It's fine. Smoke's not going to linger." He goes, "Arr," and then reaches over and pulls what appears to be a very massive cigar that has been handmade, kind of sets it to his lip, and then leans over to the fireplace, comes back, and it's like brightly lit. Arr. Arr.
Hezron laughs. Like that is probably like the coolest and funniest thing he's ever seen.
Those outside, as I mentioned, the two kind of step out. Looks like they are having a cigarette. Yeah. What would you like to do?
The bar matron, I guess I'll say, is like, does she look like she knows stuff?
You're going inside?
Happened? Yeah.
Oh, well, hello there, handsome.
Do I feel anything?
She kind of she's she's not unattractive, but she's not a redhead, which I believe is your type. She says, "Well, you're a tall drink of fuck me right now. What brings you to Sifford's Pass? Are you with House Serena to help rebuild? No, you can't be. You're a holy swordsman." Ooh, I can't believe I said fuck to a holy swordsman. Can't believe I want to fuck a holy swordsman. You see the out of nowhere, you see the farmer lean into the doorframe, looking at her, and says, "Hey, don't pester the new people." And then slips back away. And she goes, "All right, what do you want to drink?"
Thank you for the compliment. I was wondering if you knew about anything that happened here recently.
Oh, we ran away, we came back. So I can't say much about what happened here recently, other than they really fucked this place over, didn't they, huh?
Seem to like the use of that word. I would like a tankard, please.
Of course. Smiles, sets out the tankard, and don't tell anybody else. And she reaches under the counter and pulls out a bottle of what appears to be kind of something stiffer, pours a shot of it, and then pours the beer on top of it.
No cheers.
She does it very smoothly, so no one notices.
Nice.
Except for
Just gonna-
Hezrod, because he's looking right over there.
I'm gonna start sipping and then just, I guess, make small talk with this woman.
Sure. Tell me how that goes. But before you get into it,
Okay.
for the people outside, Alton, you dismount the elk. Malika, you step out of the wagon. Same with Fiona. What are you three doing?
I kind of want to take a look around and see what's going on.
Just-
Is it nighttime?
It's day. It's
Oh,
it's like a little afternoon. You travel for the majority of it on road, on carriage, so you can move like 7 paces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you've only moved 4. So it's about mid-afternoon.
Okay. So I'll just kind of walk around, take a look around.
Sure.
See if I can spot anything.
There are other people you start to notice. It definitely looks like it's nothing, but you do see that there are a couple of folks who are sitting pretty lazily kind of inside of the ruins of a building. It does look like one building near there looks like it's very well repaired. And your presumption is that they're rebuilding because of whatever reason. It looks like they are not too dissimilar from the farm man outside. And it looks like they're just like probably residents who are just getting their shit back together after a very horrific event. Malika?
Are we still in? Is this Pass End?
No, this
still?
is Sifford's Pass.
Okay, now we're actually in Sifford's Pass.
Yep. 2 different towns, but
Put
neighbors.
the token like in the middle. I didn't like in the
Yeah.
the hexagons.
Yeah, technically, Pass End is so small it's not even noteworthy. It was a ruins before.
Fiona, remember that we're here to look for valuable information, not just drink small town ale. Any thoughts on where we need to go next?
She kind of like under her breath, and she looks a little irritated. You can see that she was in the middle of ritually casting something, but her head like snaps up.
Right. I was trying to see what kind of magic there might have been present here. I'm assuming a lot. Probably.
Oh, it looks
dark.
like you broke concentration on the spell you were casting. Would you like me to hold their place on it? You hear from Seymour.
Immediately when she hears it, she just kind of mentally goes,
Ooh, Seymour, you are so helpful today. Of course, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was actually just popping in to let you know, and your eyes kind of feel like they're forced to look over at the bar. And when you kind of feel like you're being forced, it's like something is highlighting the beholderkin. Just to let you know, the ones you're seeking out, he's one of them. And then
as she, yeah, like as soon as her attention snaps towards the beholderkin, like there's this instant like recognition, like, oh, this is definitely something that similar to this. And like a small smile crosses her face.
Right. Well, I guess I won't need detect magic for that. But thank you very much, love.
And she walks past
Malika.
everyone else, right past Malika, straight over to the beholderkin. And she kind of extends her hand out towards him.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
As you're kind of like speaking to him, Malika is like,
Well, and she's like locked eyes. You know, she's like watching her walk away, and she's like, Fiona, dear, beholderkin don't have hands.
As you're kind of gesturing your hand out, you do see the beholderkin kind of look down at it, and you can see like an eye stalk kind of snap out and kind of look down at it, confused as well. You're kind of looking up at not him, but the thing over his head, which appears to be 10 rings, interlocked, made of meat, covered with eyes.
Interesting.
And he goes, what? Who are you?
She, hearing him kind of like be hesitant, she thinks for a moment and then uses her telepathy and speaks directly into his head. And her outstretched hand turns into a wave.
Hello.
And in his head, he hears,
I'm Fiona. I figure we're like each other. You can do this too, right?
Yes, yes, I can. Wow, this is way freeing. The strangeness of this mouth is very confusing to me. I'm not exactly like the one who spawned me. So, you serve Raynek, the dead king, as well.
she kind of pauses at that.
Seymour, that's who I serve, right?
Yes. quick shout out to the creator of Raynek, the dead king, in our our Twitch chat. Anyway,
Shout out!
he kind of like says, "Strange one you are. It seems that you're afflicted by some sort of malady." 1 second. And the robe kind of snaps back. And again, they're speechless. It seems like the farmer guy's used to this. He's finished his cigarette and he's crossed his arms. He's just watching. But as the hood gets thrown back, you see the eye stalks, 4 of them, kind of snap forward. Looks like one of them has a lens that's been kind of put over the eye portion. Looks like it's some sort of quartz colored crystal. Or just quartz, because quartz is crystal. But all 4 of the eyes in the center eye kind of focus in on you, kind of looking at your circlet and kind of moving around, just floating. This cloak just kind of dragging on the dirt. No. Raynek the Dead King is Struggle Bus Gamer. Sorry, Sewing Artist.
Struggle Bus Gamer!
Jody made up the Raynek. Anyway, he kind of circles around you for a second and says, "Oh, sorry, I read it wrong. I don't know how text works." He kind of looks at your circlet and says, "You bound your packed ring to a magic item? How does that even work?" He's saying in your head.
she kind of pauses at that.
I honestly don't know how it works. I haven't really been feeling myself lately. But you know what? I'm pretty sure it has to do with Raynek, now that you mention it. Right? Seymour?
she kind of pauses.
He kind of confused, and you can see that his face kind of like twists a little bit in the confusion. You then see the farmer guy kind of like elbow the beholderkin and say, "Hey, she a problem?" And he goes, no, it's okay. And then kind of snaps back into the my dog. "Listen, it seems like you're very confused by your situation, and I definitely want to try and help you as best I can with that, but you do seem to have come here with a group of hardy-looking individuals who might be able to assist in a matter that we're currently trying to endeavor in."
He immediately smiles and nods.
Yes. The confusion is something I'm always dealing with, so that's for another day. But I was wondering, I heard that there was a lot of scuffle going on, and Seymour seems to think there might be some kind of weapon or things, or evidence, perhaps. Do you know anything about that? Is that what you're looking for?
Oh, you named it. Now I understand. Sorry, I was confused. You kept mentioning someone and pointing at your head, but I figured it out now. That makes sense. Naming it. I have not named my crown. Very, very...
Looks at the 10 rings.
You mean those? You don't have a name for them?
No. They do have a very pleasant voice, not too unlike the one I'm speaking to you with now. But I don't typically try and refer to them for much guidance, as the one who spawned me would not be terribly interested in me consorting with Raynek too much.
She just kind of like does a...
That's stupid if you ask me. Not Raynek. Raynek's fantastic.
Yes,
That's what I'm
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. You should talk to them.
And she kind of looks at the rings.
Well,
And she actually, like gets a bit closer and tries to like actually analyze them. They don't have like eyes or anything. They're just rings.
They're rings with
Oh,
eyes.
they do have.
They're
Oh,
just-
okay. She looks
so-
into the eyes.
Seymour, when you started and first saw him, was 3-ringed. And then soon after that, you didn't really pay much attention to him visually. And then he became your circlet. This guy's appears to be 10 rings that have kind of like interconnected. So it's even more maddening a display of just gross.
Of like eyes and stuff. Yeah.
Eyes and meat.
She kind of peers into it.
How about Teddy? Do you like that?
She kind of peers into the eyes.
Don't elicit a response. I hope it doesn't elicit a response, but don't try to. I don't like talking to individuals that are set in middle grounds. I like to talk to Raynick directly, and sometimes with the assistance of the one that spawned me, I am able to do just that.
She just shrugs, but then in her head she says to Seymour,
Don't worry about him. I love our relationship.
Well, if you're interested, I can get you in concert with the one who spawned me.
at that her eyes kind of like, yeah, she perks up.
You could.
Yeah.
That would be lovely, actually.
He's switching back into like real speak. Hey, can you get him to get us up to the tower again? Yeah, I guess if you want to go up there. I mean, what?
The tower, that's fantastic. That's where I was going to go. Is it the same place?
And she points to the tower that's been like shoveled with the bottom in ruins.
Are you speaking out loud or speaking in mind still?
She's now speaking out loud because he switched to out loud.
The farmer says, yeah, that's where he sleeps. You haven't even really been talking to her brain talk for more than a couple minutes. You move fast, man. The beholder goes, oh, no, it's not like that, okay? Don't pay attention to what he's saying. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just taking you up to speak to the one who spawned me. It's not anything creepy.
Implication went completely over Fiona's dumbass, so she just kind of nods and goes,
Right, I was hoping to get a look for any kind of facts or clues. You're telling me you live there. That's perfect.
Are you still speaking out loud?
yeah.
Okay. You see him go, yeah, facts, clues, cool. Heads inside. He walks over to Hezrod and the ogre, the farmer does, and he says, hey, he needs up. Oh, okay. I like my new friend. Drinking together. And the farmer kind of looks over at Hezrod and says, what's up?
You're muted.
Hezron says, it looks like I may be leaving soon. And he like thumps the barrel next to me and says, could you hang on to this for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep.
The ogre is a nice guy.
Pops it closed, throws it up on his shoulder like it's nothing, walks over to the bar, sets it back, and says, be nice to these people that travel here. It might be helpful. And she goes, okay. I mean, that merfolk's looking pretty good, too. And he says, no. Meanwhile, the ogre stands up and kind of like straddles the wall that's broken and kind of gets out of the building that way, and then kind of walks over to behind the building and kind of ducks down behind from view. Meanwhile, Malika, you kind of stood there listening to their conversation. It looks like the Beholderkin is now floating towards the tower, and it looks like Fiona is following the Beholderkin, who has put its robe or hood back up.
Hezrod would have like basically been like chugging his beer as he's running out the door to follow the ogre.
Okay.
Because he wants to see what the ogre's up to.
Malika's kind of thinking like the lunatics are running the asylum, kind of.
100%.
And she, follows suit. I'm guessing that the Beholderkin has not recognized her.
No, it doesn't seem to be the same Beholderkin.
Got it.
Yeah, it takes you a couple seconds, but I don't think the one that you met was yellow, was he?
Yeah.
Was he?
But it was. Do I have enough like ideas about Beholderkins to wonder?
A pretty common color.
Well, would I wonder if they came from the same source?
They could have.
Do I know how Beholderkins are created?
Do you have Arcana trained?
I don't, because
no idea.
I'm fucking
crazy.
Yeah.
No idea. Could be a sibling of some sort.
sank it all into deception. But anyway.
Perfectly fair. That said, the Beholderkin leads Fiona towards the tower, and the ogre comes out from behind the tower with this very strange contraption attached to its back. Those of you who are familiar with military and tactics and such, it is a howdah, which is typically mounted on the back of like an elephant, but he is wearing it and walking in the direction of the tower. Looks like if you were standing on the top of it and he were to stand as tall as he possibly could, you'd be able to reach this broken set of steps that's up there that leads up to the tower. And he walks over to Fiona and to the yellow Beholderkin and squats down for you to gain access to his back.
Fiona looks a little confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is how we get into your house? By getting a piggyback.
Well, and then in his mind, he's now so he says, well, of course, unless you have the gift of flight and I'm not aware of it.
She kind of pauses at that.
No, I don't.
And then looks really awkwardly at the guy before starting to like scramble up his back. Very uncomfortable with the idea.
It's a whole ogre. Like it's and he seems very gentle, giant-y, kind of it's okay. And he kind of like gives you like a guiding kind of like if you step on his forearm, he kind of lifts you up a little bit. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, just step out onto it. Very nice, very gentle giant.
And she's just under her breath, she's saying to him,
I'm so sorry. Oh, I'll try not to scuff you. Oh, if you want, I can give you a handkerchief after.
It's okay. Everybody's gone up there, so it's fine. And you hear in your voice, it's actually fine. He's very competent at carrying troops. It's what he was trained to do, and he says that as he's kind of flying up, and it's just like it's like someone smacked a badminton like straight upwards. He just goes because the cloak, and he flies up there as you're kind of lifted up. He kind of lands on the point where you would be going, and then you see one of the tentacles kind of come down, and a hand appear at the end of it, a mage hand, and kind of reach out to grab a hold of your hand.
oh, cool. She takes it.
Which lifts you up with it, strangely with a bit more power than a mage hand would normally have. And once you get up to the steps, you start walking up the tower. Does anybody else go on the howdah and up as well?
Hezron, definitely.
Malika needs to be there for this.
Okay.
I would like to finish.
But instead of apologizing to the ogre, he gives him like a confident slap on the shoulder.
Yeah, I mean,
you're doing a great job.
it seems like he's able to carry quite a lot of weight, at least 3 or 4 of you at a time. But just the way the howdah has been kind of crafted to his body. But yeah, he lifts up once all of you are on it. You all start kind of jumping up. Fiona first, then kind of the next person helps them up, and then kind of moves past that person, whoever it was, and lets them help the others up as he leads Fiona, kind of flying around her to get in front of her and kind of like looking back at her with his main eye as he kind of floats up the steps.
Is Alton coming?
Looks like everybody's going except for Avran.
I would like to finish my encounter with the
With the what?
Lady at the bar.
Oh, lady. Okay. We'll get to that. Actually, we'll get to that now. With something fair for them. So, the flirtations are numerous. It is aggravating. So, let's just say that most of what's happened so far has been that. But finally, you've made it to the point where you've broken through and you can ask your most pertinent question. What is it?
Well, before I say anything, I'm just going to have a quick wow, Afran, as Riamond, and I'm just going to say, I died as a virgin, so sorry, Avran. And then he's just going to say to the lady, our tenants do not practice celibacy.
Wait.
If the offer still stands.
Wait, are you serious? She says.
Indeed.
Oh, well. Yeah. And then you see her kind of like move towards the door, close it up as everyone's going up the stairs, switches the sign to closed, and like, I won't go into description, but that happens.
Get it, boy.
Moving on to the tower.
Nailed it. High five, Avran.
Did Avran just get Schnoo Schnoo?
Yeah, I believe that happened.
Oh, shit.
Since your experience level in that department is very low, not to get too terribly into detail, but she destroys you. Like, I just want to make sure you understand. She destroys you. Like, do you understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it.
Moving on to the tower.
Avran thinks this is what love feels like.
Once up there, you enter into what appears to be the only room that remains of the space. In the room, you see that looks like there's a small little like bundle of cloth or like blanketing that's just kind of set there. Looks like someone had like a a basketball or something kind of set inside of it. It's kind of like nuzzled out in a perfect round shape. It looks like the center of the floor, there's a hole that leads down to the bottom of the tower, which if you look down, you can see the remnants of the interior of the tower that have fallen away. And you can also see the ground that you were just standing on not too long ago. It looks like the only other thing of note in this room are the paintings, which appear to be very old, very ancient. The main one that appears to be like opposite of the door that you just entered in is of a knight in bright golden yellow armor holding a black sword over his head, and the sword, though it be black, seems to be shining light over the ravine, or not the canyon below him. He's kind of
Fiona immediately runs to it if she can, or like not runs, but like moves towards it if she may.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a very fantastic looking painting, but it very much history trained, not intelligence score aside. You would know that that is Sifford, the hero of the pass, the defender of the lands of the Divide, and the queller of the royal from Ta.
Okay, and am I to take it that this was his castle, this tower, or this is a different?
So it would seem. The other paintings seem to depict other heroic deeds, but it looks like there are 3 other heroes that are being depicted. It looks like there is a elvish maiden who appears to be holding a symbol very similar to Golradier's. Her hair is also bright blonde and beautiful. But the abs not on the same level.
I was about to ask about the abs.
I was about to ask about the abs. Thank you. I brought them up. It looks like a young man who appears to be a squirely individual who appears to be wearing a helmet that looks like it goes perfectly with the armor that Sifford, as depicted, would wear. He also appears to have a dagger on his belt, which Alton, you would recognize as one of the Mardigan dark knives, which are used specifically by assassins and are only given to the highest assassin amidst the Mardigan family. Blackhand is the one who wields it in Nock for your segment of the family. And then the 4th one appears to be a wizard with conglomerate markings.
She speaks directly into the Beholderkin's mind. That black sword, have you seen it anywhere? Has it been found in his property, or?
And his mind kind of shifts, and you hear him say, "Of course, the mayor had Sifford's sword." Well,
The mayor?
so he thought he did.
She pauses at that, and then again in his head she continues, the mayor, is that,
No, he
is that-
died.
Oh.
Yeah,
During the attack?
They raided his house immediately. He kind of leans towards the wall and moves towards one of the windows, kind of peers down it, and points at a building remnant with his eye stalk just down below, and then kind of says out loud, "That's where he lived."
She kind of frowns at that.
And then kind of
And
snaps back to mind speak. But you didn't come up here to talk about a sword. You came up here to talk to the one that spawned me. And it kind of floats past you. The hand kind of appears and kind of disembarks from the eye stalk position and kind of moves over to a curtain that looked like it was just like some kind of blockage to a window. Pulls this raggedy kind of burlap curtain to the side. And behind it is a beautiful steel mirror. Standing about 6 feet tall, about 4 feet wide. And it's definitely of a make, very high craftsmanship. You look into the reflection, and you expect to see a reflection, but very quickly as you move to look down it, you realize that you're not looking into a reflection. It's like you're looking into a portal space, and you see 10 eyes looking back at you, and then an 11th eye opens up.
Oh,
The voice kind of resonates inside of the tower, and you can actually kind of feel the tower you're standing and kind of shake at the voice.
Ooh. She kind of casts a nervous glance over her shoulder, notices that the others are all there, kind of curses under her breath, but then turns back towards.
Fiona, what the hell are you doing?
It almost looks like the young beholderkin is kind of gesturing you on, like it's okay.
Ignoring Malika and everyone else's reactions, she just turns back to the portal and says,
I'm Fiona Woods. I am, Raynek's apprentice?
So that's why Peepers brought you to me.
Peepers.
She nods and then points to her crown.
That and Seymour here. He seems to be similar to,
You named your consort? Strange human woman. It's strange still that it would lead you to its power. I do not wish to consult with a servant of that which lies dead inside of the void. This voice is going to be hard to keep up, so I'm going to switch it.
Hey. It's rad though.
It's really good, but it's really hard.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He says, so you come to speak with me. I suppose I will humor you, even though I do not wish to consort with you and yours. What do you wish of me?
Well, the people that tried to destroy this place. We kind of have a common enemy, don't we?
I do not care for what has already happened. The Lady of the Deep shed her skin, and a new being has taken her place. For all I understand, her squabble with mortals here was little more than an annoyance, as my most loyal servant had to flee this place.
And who was that?
That was me, Peeper says out loud. He is not wrong.
She nods her head at that.
Understood. Well, I was led to believe that there was more brewing here, and we could perhaps help put a stop to it.
If you have any other information or any sort of leads, and she kind of gestures over to the painting, I was told that some of these relics might remain.
You hear a voice in your head. You notice that Peepers hasn't done mental speech much, but now does it with you and says, much since the beholder has been revealed. But he says in your mind, Raynek is the one who seeks the sword. I know it. He sent you here to find it, didn't he?
Back in his head, she says,
Listen,
It's an idea he had, perhaps, but I'm the one who wants to use it, love. I don't have any other swords or weapons.
Kind of interrupting you, you hear the loud voice booming from the mirror say, "If you seek the black sword of Sifford, it still rests where I put it."
She turns her head back to him and smiles sweetly. And where would that be, love?
In the eye of the other.
The other? Oh, do you mean the... And she kind of looks around. Well, the dead snake lady?
No. No. The one who was sent here by the renegade.
She pauses at that.
She kind of like, sorry, the beholder. They kind of like chomp at their teeth a bit, and you can hear like the teeth grinding. You do not know of Rainek's renegade.
She kind of shakes her head and says, honestly, I'm the only one I know of who has that connection with Rainek.
Silence! And its tongue kind of whips out a bit and kind of like annoyedly kind of glares at you. And you can feel everything in this room kind of shift for a second. And at that very moment, your constitution drops. And anybody else's benefits from magic items just dissipate.
Interesting.
As the anti-magic cone of its central eye manifests through the mirror. It then...
I'm safe, motherfucker!
It then... Oh yeah, you're fine. You're doing great. You're making some magic of your own right now. I don't think the eyes of anyone would dispel that. Anyways... during that moment, you feel the weight of the circlet on your head, and you can hear like loud sounds. Now, this is kind of a backtrack to what we discussed earlier. Remember how I discussed how when you first contacted Seymour this session, it sounded like it was a bunch of voices talking to like others as if they were doing like a customer service call?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever worked at a call center?
A really old-timey one, yes.
Okay, so imagine the sound that was in your head of the screaming, just passion to leave that place as quickly as you could, and it's magnified for each of the employees in that space. That's literally what's happening right now as the magic of the circlet bonds away. And you feel like the constitution shift from you, and you're kind of like, oh, drain for a second, and then the anti-magic kind of drops away, and it stares at Peepers and says, "Relieve her of her ignorance, and then contact me again." The mirror becomes nothing more than a mirror in kind of like this wavy, watery pattern, and your magic kind of flaps back. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay, cool.
Come on, strength.
You're wise again.
Ooh. Interesting.
And as it all shifts back to the way it was, you would note that Peepers goes, oh no. I thought that might be it. You've never heard of the renegade?
She shakes her head no, and then in his head, she just says, no, I don't. And honestly, I wasn't expecting your maker to be so volatile. You might have warned me, perhaps, that he was going to scream at me and cause me to have the worst headache of my goddamn life.
He's speaking out loud. So seemingly to everyone else, like one-sided conversation. I'm sorry, but I have to tell you. Rainek, the dead king, is a being from beyond the stars. It is said the place that he comes from, stars themselves are used as currency. He was fought by a very powerful being, filled with darkness, a giant, also a servant of his, and another, the one who You have seen as well the one that should not exist. You have seen him, right? You've heard his cacophony of a laugh in your mind. Am I right? If not, know this. Raynek lived in that space, and the giant made the earth crush him, entombing him, killing him. Others came. One was the renegade. Raynek bound himself to this seemingly good-hearted person, and it led him. They led him for a time with their power. In tandem, they worked to escape that space, and they found their way in the stars. The renegade came here with the powers of Raynek, joined by pact, but used against the will of that gave it. But due to the nature of their agreement, Raynek was incapable of not granting the renegade his will. And so, the minds of many have been taken advantage of by the renegade. An elf, blonde-haired, powerful, beautiful, beyond measure, and filled with the powers of our patron.
Hearing that, she turns to the painting and points at the blonde elf. Does it look like that?
No. No, it's different. He's different. He's from beyond the stars. He's a being that... He's an enigma himself. I know that he has caused many a problem west of here, beyond the marches, in a land called Munio. But his presence was felt in the void, moving about, shifting like a burrowing worm.
Everyone can hear this, right?
Yeah, he's speaking aloud.
Yeah.
Does he have a name?
No. If I knew his name, I would have power. But I do not know it.
So we just have to look out for an impossibly beautiful blonde elf with insane powers that wants to kill everyone?
He has a gift that we have not gained. You see, he kind of raises his eye stalks very slowly, and you see the crown manifest the consort. Is this the first time Malika would see the meat rings?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you see a series of 10 rings appear above his head, moving, oscillating, like a orrery, completely made out of like meat, flesh, and covered in eyes. And you see him kind of hold them up, and the crowns kind of lock into position. He then makes the hand appear, places it on the meat ring, and tosses it so that it flies out over your head. And when it gets there, Fiona, it starts kind of oscillating and spinning. You then feel like a strain of psychic energy in your head, as if someone's trying to do something from that ring. But it seems like they're incompetent, like they don't have the power to do so. But you feel like if someone were competent, this could be very, very bad. And he kind of snaps the ring back to the wheel. The renegade knows how to do this fully, and he has made many his slaves.
Ooh. Yeah, Fiona absolutely hates that. She kind of shrinks away. So, is there any word on where he was seen last? You said Munio.
He entered a place known as the Doom Vault. It exists outside of the plane, known as Urs.
She looks really uncomfortable with that. And does this renegade? He has the blades and he has all this power, right?
The blade is not his. The blade is as my creator said. It is buried in the eye of the other. The other was a beholder that desired power in this region. But the one who spawned me is the true beholder. And so they came to blows. The blade was used to kill. Not many are as competent as the one who spawned me. I would be wary if you ever get on his bad side. He is unparalleled with a sword.
She nods at that.
I think everyone's headspace is kind of like, how does he hold a sword? He has no fucking hands.
She just kind of nods again and says, "All right, well, thank you very much for all of that, honestly. Do you know if there's any way, well, you said this beholder, is it just still lying there in a ditch somewhere?" She kind of looks around. Is it perhaps, in this city?
Come with me, he says as he turns and heads back towards the door, kind of floating. The door opens and kind of pushed by a mage hand, and he heads back down the stairs.
She follows immediately and just kind of looks around the others and casts like a bit of like a apologetic smile and shrugs before heading off.
You're left
Malik is
Oh, go ahead.
on her tail. Malik is on her tail.
Okay. You're left in the room for a second, kind of by yourself. Does anybody do anything else in the room?
Hezrod is generally very uncomfortable with the entire experience. He did not like that. That is not what he thought was happening when they went up there. And so basically, as soon as shit got weird, he sort of just floated to the back of the crowd. And
Alton, do you check anything?
Sorry, I was away. I had to take a phone conversation. But...
No worries. You're left alone in the room that I described at the beginning of this conversation. So they're leaving, but you're kind of left with the paintings, the pile of clothing, the strange mirror. You can do whatever you want, or you can just follow them behind.
I just kind of look behind the mirrors and see if there's anything, or not mirrors, but
paintings. Make an investigation.
Yes, I gotta roll some dice finally.
Sorry, it's been a very active narrative session. I apologize, but you're moving to a place where we get to go to a dungeon that I know Gijo is going to enjoy, because they've been there already.
Is Avran going to enjoy it?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, a 27.
Really good. So you're like, You kind of do one of these with your dagger and kind of peer underneath one of the paintings, and, then walk over to the one of the one with the Mardigan blade. You kind of pull back the thing, and you go, huh. You kind of reach up behind it, and you can feel that the canvas backing kind of seems to have like a weight to it, like in the middle, that it shouldn't have. And you kind of like take your dagger and kind of like pierce it a little bit, and you see a handle inside of the painting, in between like the front of the canvas and like the kind of parchment that's been put on the back to cover it. Do you grab the handle? It looks like,
yeah, for sure. I am.
You pull out a perfect physical rendition of the dagger featured on the belt of the individual. You are now holding one of the Mardigan Dark Blades. You're like, I just keep getting all these cool knives.
I'm dual wielding daggers here. Can you drop that in?
No, because it hasn't been identified, so you don't know what it does.
Okay, I'll put it in my little cheat sheet thing.
Yep. Okay, and then you all head back down the steps. Avran, slightly sweatier and also breathless, is coming outside of the tavern. The farmer guy is still standing there, like he just got kicked out of the bar and is like standing there smoking a cigarette. And as you kind of walk out, he kind of opens up the case and offers you one.
I take it.
All right, he lights it up for you, and he says, "I really appreciate what you did in there."
Did I appreciate what I did in there?
Your choice. You can. Again, I'm not getting into the details of it, other than she very much was aggressive.
Manhandled me. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Why not?
Yeah, if you enjoyed it, then great. But it seems like you get the vibe from the farmer man that she is
info.
She doesn't have much in the way of like any information that was necessary. Like,
yeah,
but
it's fine.
She definitely seems to be very
intuitive.
Yeah, like she's bored.
Fair.
Yeah. Make a charisma persuasion roll for me.
Okay, got you right now.
And do you have insight trained?
I do not think I do. I do.
Okay, great. Roll your charisma persuasion roll. Okay.
19.
You were pretty sure with that, and you're being trained in insight, you're pretty sure she had fun. That's the best way to say it. Like, she enjoyed herself.
Cool.
So, yeah. But he kind of like,
There you go, buddy.
He says he appreciates it, and he says to you, what are you and your friends doing around here?
I don't know entirely. We're meant to go somewhere, and they sort of left me.
Always time for coitus, I guess.
I suppose.
You're not looking for anything in particular? Like, magic swords or whatever?
I know of something like that. Do I know if they're looking for that?
The blade was mentioned, yeah.
They mentioned something of the sort, like a blade.
Yeah. He kind of points over at the cliff, and like you can see that there looks like there's like a small little kind of recess, like very hard to notice if someone wasn't pointing it out to you. Go in that tunnel, head down the way, say the name Sifford. When you get to the gate, it'll magically open. It'll lead you into the lair. As some folks are calling it. Some folks call it the webway. Some people call it the passage. I believe the mayor used to call it Sifford's Crypt. But
is there anything I should expect?
God damn it, Jonathan.
Peeper says that's where the blade is, so...
Are they monsters or undead?
I think a lot of them have been killed, but probably. That's what dungeons are. That's what dungeons are like around here, aren't they?
Indeed. I say Sifford and 3 times, and it should...
Just the one.
Oh, just the one.
You gotta be standing right in front of it, though.
Okay. Oh, thank you for the cigarette and the advice.
No problem.
Have a good day. And then just gonna...
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes.
You didn't even ask her name, did you? He goes like this. He goes, and like kind of turns and like opens the tavern door and walks in.
I'm just gonna keep walking.
It's like a shame bubble. They make their way down, slowly let down onto the howdah as the ogre sees you kind of coming, kind of like gets up there, gets ready to receive. Some of you, Pezrod, more than likely, are able to just kind of jump down. Others have to kind of like, get some assistance. And you can see that Peepers has floated down himself and has landed. Avran, you're watching this all happen.
Indeed. I will walk over.
And it seems like they're heading exactly in the perfect direction towards the little hole in the wall that you were told about.
Oh, okay, then I'll just meet them there. I mean, like, are our paths going to cross?
Yeah, you
Or
can get
is
there
it
before they can. And then
Wait for them.
yeah, you're kind of waiting at the door, and everybody kind of marches on over in that direction if you're following the Beholderkin.
So,
Avran, where have you been?
Make a perception check, Malika. Your profession kind of. Yeah. Yep. You know. You know what happened. You understand his sin.
Oh, at least tell me you used a
You-
lamb's gut.
Or prayed for protection.
you see, immune to disease, the human kind. So,
Yeah, yes, you may be immune to disease, but not all women are immune to being pregnant. And I don't think they have a cut wife around these parts.
shit.
Well, if you're ready to be Daddy Avran,
Let's just say there are just children sprouting up around the area who have a surprising, like, devout prowess.
and that just like are constantly opening things that they shouldn't.
Oh yeah,
and,
no, they're not going to live very long.
like their
Like a race
limbs
of
are getting
raven-haired
cut off.
giants.
Oh my god,
Fuck
so
them
good,
all.
so good. I can't. Let's just say you won D&D today.
I
Oh.
am praying that she is pregnant.
Fair. That would be the funniest situation.
I hope that will happen. I'm just putting that out there into the universe.
Yeah, right. Because like what John's campaign setting needs is another illegitimate king, or I guess like another contender for any sort of like.
No. I was hoping no one would focus on that, but damn, way to call me out. That
Mhm.
literally is awesome.
Oh,
Let's
snap.
find out.
Hilarious.
They're like, oh, this war now has another faction.
Oh my god, it's the Blackfire Rebellion all over again. Game of Thrones in it. Let's do it. Okay.
Daddy, and what does he do?
You make your way over to the cave. Avran, you kind of see them coming, and then you see that Peepers, the Beholderkin, is leading them into this small little space. Inside, you see that there is a door. Now, out of character note, just so you're aware, this is not the door in the basement of the tavern. This is separate. And he walks over to it, and Peepers says to Fiona out loud, "Within you will find a maze of confusion. There are only 5 words that can be spoken within to make the doors open. Sifford will open those on the outer cloister. My notes are gone." My notes.
I have forgotten. Words escape me this day.
Oh, that is literally the most depressing thing that's ever happened in my life.
Just make him some shit, homie.
I'm not making shit up. I've got it written down. I hate this. Okay, so Sifford, outer cloister. The next 3 inner cloisters are the names of the rogue, the squire rogue, then the elf, and then the wizard.
Cool.
What are their names, though?
I got them. I just don't have them right now. And then
They have names.
there's
Names
only
are something.
you have.
I got.
Since it is 9:45, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get into the point where anything besides Sifford is used. And then he says, the inner cloister, the word that must be spoken is Rainek. The only way to get into Sifford's tomb is with the name of the one who last conquered it. if you destroy that which holds power in that space, the passphrase will be your name.
Ooh. Okay, interesting.
Well then, challenge accepted.
But know this. In entering the crypt, you will see a power that will be tempting to you as a mortal being. As it was tempting to the beholderkin that was slain by our master, who possessed my spawn father, spawn parent. So, if you go into that place, understand that temptation will arise. Be ready. If you do wish to exit that place with the sword, leaving the place will be the hardest thing that you do.
Interesting. Sorry, can you repeat just that very final phrase?
Yeah, if you go into the crypt, the hardest thing to do will be leaving because of the power that's on offer there.
Got you. But he's suggesting to not take whatever this deal is.
No, he's saying take this. If you're wanting to take the sword, if you want the sword, don't take the deal. But yeah, I mean, whatever it is, like, it's power you're going to be offered. And he's saying don't do it if you want to be able to get the sword out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
that's fine.
You don't leave if you stay and have the power.
Yeah, that's fine. Here, you get the sword, I'll take the deal.
It would it would not be the first merfolk I've bottlenecked into a place of ultimate power but no capabilities. Sorry, Shijo.
That's fucking rude.
Too soon.
Jade.
No, she made a sacrifice, okay?
Fair.
I love this.
She made a sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Hey, can this beholderkin...
Hold on. What's that, Brian?
Can this beholderkin identify with this dagger?
Do you show him it?
Child, you just snatched it from his house.
No, I don't. Never mind. I asked Fiona later.
Later. We'll talk later. Yeah. Okay. So you step up to the portal, and you say,
"Alakazam."
Who's you?
Ziffer.
Yeah.
Whoever is going to open the portal.
Oh yeah, so it's probably going to be Fiona. She'll step forward and proudly say, Seiford.
The gateway, despite awkward pronunciation, open.
Yep. Super awkward.
It seems to focus on intent and meaning and not so much pronunciation, which is great because, that's really what you want to do. If you hear somebody pronounce a word wrong, it doesn't mean that they're stupid. It means that they actually read it and, figured it out in their head. So that's actually pretty cool. But back to the point, the portalway in front of you, it's like we've discussed the portalways before. It's an archway that appears to be like a doorway with no door just built into the wall. When you say the word, it creates this space that enters into another area. The area in front of you appears to be a sandy, grounded room, a very vast-looking room with a high ceiling and like at least 100 feet wide. In the darkness that you can, because some of you have dark vision, sure, but the darkness that kind of escapes you, it doesn't feel like you can see any other exits. It just looks like it's this one room that you'll be stepping into. Who goes first?
Fiona's being uncharacteristically brave, so she's stepping forward again.
Follows.
I will.
No. Hezron will be right behind Fiona, and he's gonna go ahead and cast light. He's gonna have like the sword and shield ready.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna go ahead and cast light on the shield.
Okay.
Light on the greatsword.
Light glows out. Go ahead.
Malika will motion to Alton. Stay close, please.
I don't want another proboscis in me, so yes.
I'm sorry, you said the light goes out?
No, the light goes up, and you can kind of see a little bit more, and it seems like the light actually carries a bit more weight light-wise than it normally would. It seems to kind of expand outwards a bit farther. Fiona, when you step through and you see the others do so likewise, you have a very similar sensation to the day that you walked through the mirror in the barrow after dealing with the priest and moving into that space where the dead lay. You very clearly recognize that you're no longer on the same plane of existence. Malika's is a very strange feeling, to be sure, for you when you pass through. But strangely, it's like, it's pretty cool. Like the space that you're in feels like home. Like it just feels nice. Avran, it feels like you're dead again. But you're not. You're a person. It just feels like whatever the space is has this weird lingering kind of
Like,
death.
Almost. Okay.
It's like
that's
a
fair.
death to it. And yeah.
Does Hezrod also feel dead?
You felt this before, so it's not like a death to you. Like you've never been dead, so you don't know what
Oh, that's fair.
death is like. Alton might have a bit more of a grasp on it, but yeah. I would say that the last person through, who is that?
Avron.
Okay. So when you walk through, the gate shuts behind you.
Fuck. God damn it, Avran.
Avran, why didn't you hold the door?
You then hear a low kind of rumbling sound, kind of quake
Oh no.
through the space.
Oh no.
You wish to join me? Or do you come to slay another dragon? You hear...
Fiona immediately calls. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you hear from the darkness. I was just going to say, it's like, you can't pinpoint a location. It just seems to kind of resonate from not seeable.
Okay. She immediately calls out.
We're just looking for the sword. We're not going to kill anyone. Just safe passage, please.
Then you will fail. The only way to get to that place is through me. You then see two bright yellow eyes kind of appear in the darkness, but they seem to be kind of like wavy, kind of moving.
It's a snake.
You then see a massive claw kind of appear out of the shadow into your light, and it's black scaled. It moves further in, and the skull-like face of a black dragon appears out of shadow to view you. And that is where we'll end the session for tonight. I know it's a little early, but the timing is just kind of insane. And we're not going to be able to do a dragon fight all in all. But sorry for not super combat, Chad, but I hope it was birthday worthy.
A lot of shit. We learned a lot of shit.
Thanks for watching those.
Chat, honey, you're muted.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't care. Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Stopping the stream. And sorry for the weird layout. Never mind. It's a long story.
It's
Bye.
okay. You'll get a sword.